Did is asking for a translation. You don't want to miss anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Because as I was saying, when Ed asked me which is my favorite field spell of the game, I told him that Necro Valley has changed the text so many times throughout the year, so you want to make sure you know exactly what it does at the moment. But just as I brought it for you guys on the screen, the most recent text is that the cards in the graveyard cannot be banished, and it negates any effect that would move a card to the graveyard to a different place. So this is really a strong card against Tier.
Let's go. Alle, die hier sind im Stream, ich sehe gerade hier Etienne mit Tier Ishizu versus den Newton Mario mit
So now
Flanders.
The play is back to Etienne, who is resolving this Beatrice. Interesting decision, because he knew the Heartbeat was on the top of the deck, and by doing this instead, it obviously
Hallo Max.
his deck. But he sends the crime, which will activate one of the effects. Which,
ich hoffe, ihr seid auf jeden Fall hype, weil das war auf jeden Fall ziemlich cool. Ich mache mal so ein bisschen leise hier. Bin noch nicht ganz im Game drin, aber ich sehe Necro Valley, was ziemlich gut ist, wenn ihr mich fragt. Aber er hat halt auch den Feedspell schon.
So if he needs to access it, he would need to put it back with the crime, which he didn't. So it's actually tough to get to the Heartbeat like this now.
Ich war, by the way, ja heute in Dortmund, also ganz kurz. Hab mal bei allen Leuten Hallo gesagt. Ich hoffe, das ist falsch. Das ist auch falsch. Danke für nix. Da, das ist richtig. Da haben wir doch mal. Hier seht ihr Etienne. Mit seinem Necro Valley und Baguska. Ja.
But definitely an interesting choice to just play it in the extra monster zone. Wow. And he goes even for the normal summon. Switch it.
Er braucht ja nur ein Out für die und er muss halt da noch Heartbeat haben. Ich weiß nicht, ist Heartbeat schon gebanished? Das erste Mal, dass du für Flander bist, echt? Also ich bin für Etienne. Weil Etienne einfach ein cooler Typ ist.
It's definitely an interesting decision, and this is even more surprising. Mario going for the Dreaming Town.
Okay, er holt sich die Monster.
Activate just the Robina. Let's see.
Aber was will er aufs Feld tun, dass ihm jetzt gegen Baguska hilft? Weil er müsste irgendwie die Spell aufs Feld kriegen, damit er Baguska teleportieren kann.
Interesting stuff. Now Mario picks up his card, hoping to get something going.
Ja, nur weil ein Deck top heißt ja nicht, dass es jetzt direkt ein Meta-Contender ist. Das Deck selber, er hat die Spell. Oh Gott, ey. Meine Frage geht zwar nicht gerade um das Spiel, sondern um die Clockwork, die Donnerstag wird. Was hältst du von der Karte für Sidra? Ja, für Cybra ist die ganz gut. Okay, M annulliert.
This was the card that brought him to the top 8 actually.
Yeah, I mean, and this is not even that
Strong.
Great. You go for
Also Dracos Player selber ist halt ein Deck, was spielbar ist, aber ich glaube nicht, dass es halt kompetitiv viable ist. Ich glaube, die haben auch viel. Weil ich habe mit Maurice gesprochen zum Beispiel. Ich glaube, Maurice hat natürlich nur Mirrors gespielt, also gestern. 9 Tierments. Da ist halt Dracos ja nicht ganz so das geile Matchup gegen. Doch, Sidle wird dadurch auf jeden Fall besser. Es wird halt nur nicht gut. Also nicht gut genug. Aber weiß jemand von euch, ob Etienne noch Heartbeat hat? Weil wenn er noch Heartbeat hat, ist ja noch alles fein. Wenn er keinen Heartbeat hat, hat er echt ein Problem.
And I think here with the Necro Valley and the Unexplored Winds Mario.
It's definitely a tough spot. Maybe let's take a look real quick at the side deck from it.
Ja, also Cyber Dragon ist halt nicht spielbar.
Timeout, not too much, I gotta say. He only has the scatter shot, but of course that gotta be considered because we are almost at 20 minutes down. And he has to consider
stark heißt ja nicht unbedingt halt ein Contender, ne?
Or he might
Ja, klar, ist ein Boardbrecher, aber die Karte kann man ja auch annullieren. Ist ja nicht so, als wäre das jetzt eine Karte, die man annullieren kann.
We might see again a negation from the Suliak, and I think play is back to Mario once again.
Wieso soll er nochmal mit Suliak gehen? Der ist doch eh annulliert.
Essentially, the only line of defense at the moment is this Suliak from Etienne, but hardly gonna be enough. And prosperity comes down from Mario, who is in extreme control of this game 1 in top 8.
And let's see what he picks
Ich
up.
verstehe aber auch gar nicht, warum Etienne das noch weiterspielt. Er hat jetzt.
Actually, quick spell could be a
Da ist die Mine, Alter.
to play around the Suliak, and yeah, it's probably gonna be the best. Exactly, yeah. Makes sense. Now he has a way to play around the Suliak from his opponent, and that's all really he needed. I think soon enough we are gonna see Etienne pick up his cards, unless Mario just makes a huge misstep.
Aber er hat zumindest nicht super rare.
Yeah, here we see the Robina, and Etienne, as expected, picks up his cards. Game 1 goes to Mario.
Ja, dann gucken wir doch mal, was jetzt im zweiten Game passiert.
That really was an incredible
Weiß überhaupt irgendjemand von euch, ob Yugioh noch mit im Top-Card drin ist oder ob der jetzt in Top 16 verloren hat? Weil ich weiß, dass der Top 16 war, da bin ich halt gefahren. Ich finde es halt geil, ihr seht halt da, hier die Crowd, das ist halt quasi vor der Feature-Match-Area und kurz dahinter ist quasi die YouTube-Area, das heißt, die ist direkt dahinter, einfach nur so ein Tisch mit so einem Banner hinten drauf. Sind Ghostplay besser als DD Crow gegen Tier? Ich würde sagen, dass DD Crow sogar die bessere Karte dagegen ist. Ja, der DD Crow ist nicht so gut, also Ghostplay müsste besser sein, gegen Tier Shizu, weil die Shizu-Karten ja auch annullieren kann. Aber ich würde, glaube ich, wahrscheinlich eher die Büste-Karten spielen. Machen wahrscheinlich ein bisschen mehr dann. Ja, wart ihr auf der YCS in Dortmund? Wart ihr da nicht? Ich war ja, wer hat heute ganz kurz mal da mal so 2 der Runden reingeschnuppert, also mir angeguckt, was da so abgeht. Die Location, by the way, Premium, also richtig groß, da war wirklich auch viel los. Und ich habe es geschafft, Julia nicht zu sehen heute, obwohl er da war. Also ich habe Julia nicht gesehen. Und ich war mit dem tollen DTV-Pulli da, habe also DTV vertreten, weil er ja nicht da sein konnte. Besser als in Bochum? Ja, viel besser als in Bochum. Die Location war doppelt so groß ungefähr. Also von der Fläche allein schon. Und es gab da Essen. Also, es war teuer, aber du konntest da Crepes kaufen, Pommes, Pizza. Richtig krank. He's playing 3 copies and Mario has only a couple tools to get rid of this annoying continuous trap card. Alongside it, basically Etienne just adds the call by the grave to try and ich bin einfach nur, ich finde geil, wie einfach hier der Kommentator so richtig genervt ist, weil er da so sitzt. Das ist irgendwie auch witzig.
He's playing a lot of cards for going second, Mystic Mind, Dark Ruler, and he just adds evenly matched alongside maybe the Cosmic, if he knows about there can be.
Yeah.
Because if he doesn't, then I'm even skeptic that he would put it in. But outside of that, he has the one-dimensional fissure. Will we see
Hallo, hallo.
I'm not sure, but our players are ready.
Geht einiges.
So let's
Bin
find
gespannt,
out
ob ihr
who
das
will
schaffen
be
kann
the
hier.
winner of Game 2.
Echt gespannt, ob Etienne das schafft. Also ich route auf jeden Fall für Etienne. Ja, also Neo soll generell eigentlich, Yugioh soll generell erstmal Spaß machen. Das ist eine Frage, welche Erwartungshaltung man hingeht, ne? Ja, mir geht's definitiv besser. Es macht mir extrem übel richtig, dass das halt nicht gerade ist, ne? Dass dieses Feld hier so ein bisschen schief ist. Triggert mich irgendwie ein bisschen. Jetzt ein bisschen nach oben. Okay, er fängt einen Rhino an. Geht schlechter. Shifter? No, kein Shifter. Also wir sind jetzt in Top 8, das heißt danach kommt noch Top 4 und dann halt Finale. Also es sind noch 2 Runden danach, also noch 2 Stunden oder so. Also nicht mehr, also 3 Stunden wird es noch gehen. Keith Gallows.
There are the Ghost Sisters in the side deck.
Absolutely.
You might be seeing a game 3 happening.
Yeah. Spooky Dogwood is in the side deck of Mario, so if we ever get to a game 3 with few minutes remaining, then that could come in handy, but for now, still plenty of time left for this top 8
Ich spiele Donnerstag wegen der Clockwork. Da habe ich eine ziemlich gute Liste. Natürlich im Prosperity Lightning Storm, Droplet, Clockwork. Ja, klingt auf jeden Fall cool. Ich wünsche viel Spaß beim OTK-Nern.
So this is huge, and look at these meals from Etienne, eating really well, at least a couple of names.
Merli und Trap ist halt nicht schlecht.
Able to search an Avnis potentially, and of course the Merli. So nice setup, let's see which combo.
Ja, Tier, in seinen Matchups würde ich jetzt relativ sagen, Tier ist halt generell halt ein gutes Deck und jedes Deck muss irgendwie gucken, dass es gegen das Deck gewinnen kann. Das Problem ist halt, also Mario spielt ja Dark Ruler, der spielt Evenly, der spielt garantiert auch irgendwie Lightning Storm oder sowas. Das könnte alles gleich ganz schnell ganz schnell runterfahren.
Basically the Agido in action and there was at least 15 to 20 cards being milled in
und Garura, okay.
And here we see even another Garura, which could get him a draw. Now he's gonna mill 8. Let's see if he hits any of these Agidos or Kelbeck. He's gonna mill the top 8 cards of his deck. Another Saliek, not really the greatest.
Und da ist
kind of a whiff, but the
aber
final
Modura
diviner is actually pretty clutch to guarantee a Baron potentially with a elf play. So I think diviner was one of the best mills at the very end, saving these atrocious 8 mills, but he could just you know, continue to extend his field. But the diviner makes ton of a difference. You can get 5 more mills, guarantee a Baron.
Guck mal, Rohlkolus. Aber Rohlkolus macht doch gar nicht so viel gegen das Deck, oder?
Yeah, without the diviner it would have been, let's say, a weak meal, but...
Ah, okay, das macht Sinn. Dark Ruler ist nicht banned? Nein, warum soll Dark Ruler banned sein?
We mentioned it. 3 copies of Mystic Mine, 3 copies of Evenly Matched, 3 copies of Dark Ruler, no more.
Und er kriegt jetzt halt Access zu halt Agido, zu Kelbeck, je nachdem was er reinsetzen möchte. Weil ich glaube, er hat schon einen Modura, der ihm jetzt in dem Matchup nichts bringt. Diviner, dann Diviner Effekt. Dann geht er zu 6, kriegt eine Baron, hat jetzt dann Dragosepelia und halt Baron. Keldo.
Another shuffler instead of milling 5. Interesting.
Okay, this is something that we haven't seen previously in our future match, in which you wanted the Flowanderies to mill more cards.
Yeah.
This is not the case. He's going for the Baron, sets 1, and looks like
that is it. So Mario picks up a card. It is a pot of duality. Does he have what it takes to fight this impressive opening from the German
Ja, ist jetzt nicht schlecht tatsächlich.
Let's see. And
er fängt mit Duality an.
I don't think Etienne is interested in involving with it.
11.
He has so many good
Ach, negiert das.
He actually negates with Baron the pot of duality. Wow, brave move. I really did not see that coming, but I guess he doesn't want to face the Dark Ruler. So gonna mill 3, and he gets both the Kelbeck and the Agido. That's huge. Gonna mill 10 cards off the deck. What a jackpot here by the German player. And yeah, 10 cards are getting milled. Let's see who they are.
Schon mal die Spell.
Scream,
Sharon,
Trap.
Trap.
Crime, so
Oh.
kind of a mid mill, and yeah, nothing too relevant for the Italian. Yeah, I think honestly Mario was pretty happy with his mills. While
Nichts Wirkliches.
they could have been better. He has one fusion.
Gehst du eigentlich wöchentlich auf Logos oder eher nur auf Events? Ich war schon lange nicht mehr auf Logos, weil ich einfach die Zeit dafür nicht habe. Das ist halt schade, aber leider ist es so. Also wenn ich halt kann, dann gehe ich halt hin. Ich konnte hier bei Main Event auch nicht mitspielen, was halt sehr schade war, weil ich sonst noch arbeiten musste. So, Kid Carlos.
He has to prepare for it in game 3. So I saw a trap card from Mario. Yeah. So that could be a sneaky evenly matched, you know.
Wenn er jetzt geevenly wird, dann wird Etienne sich aber in den Arsch beißen.
Let's see if we hear the dread enter battle phase from Mario. And he actually goes for a shuffler. Interesting. This will basically guarantee that he gets to add one of these, maybe crime, it's the one he wants to add. Yeah, looks like it. And maybe a twin twister, I would say. Or maybe just another name. Let's see what he wants to put back in the deck. It is the Shirin, and now he shuffles 3 back, and essentially the Kid Carlos can get him the crime he just put back, or maybe something else. Yeah, he gonna mill once again.
Und dann nochmal 5.
Let's see what they are.
Da ist Merly. Hafnis. Merly, Hafnis.
Good meals by Etienne. Though we have to mention, with the crime engraved, we know that the face down is not crime. He's overextending so much. If there is an evenly matched from Mario, this game
Ja,
could be over.
wenn das ein Evil ist, hat er ein Problem.
And there it is, evenly matched from Mario already.
Aber die Trap-Karte ist There Can Be Only One. Den ich auch sagen, nee, die... Ach, meine Fresse.
The braveness and foolishness of man are a thin line, and so we'll see at the end of this game whether it was a correct or too extreme decision.
And we have to guess that the last card Etienne is holding must be a copy of There Can Be Only One.
Ja, es muss There Can Be Only One sein, sonst hat er verloren.
If he saw that coming.
Face down could be the heartbeat at the moment, not really interested in having any of it, so yeah, just continue with his plays, but I'm still shocked
There Can Be Only One,
this,
ja.
And it is actually the There Can Be. Wow.
Flat geht, yay!
This is a good one, because I don't think Mario was say it coming, honestly, when siding in.
No way.
Aber er hat Cosmic ja im Deck, das heißt, er hat es jetzt nicht kommen sehen, aber wenn er jetzt Cosmic hat, also Cosmic wird er jetzt auf Hand nicht haben, das hätte er jetzt aktiviert. Er hat auf jeden Fall aber einen gemildet, das heißt, er hat auf jeden Fall Cosmic im Main Deck. Etienne hat noch 2 Handkarten, er hat noch Kelbeck, er hat noch einer Guido und Modora im Friedhof, also er kann noch zurückschaffeln.
I think he's talking to the judges about potentially setting it from the field, and
das geht nicht, das geht nicht. Das geht doch gar nicht.
Well played by the Italian, getting rid of the There Can Be by setting it. This is exactly what I was saying with the unexplored wins. I think fantastic play, and now the normal summon enables some combos from Mario, so Etienne will need to play really carefully with this.
Unexplored wins.
And he just sets one and passes back to his opponent.
Wow.
What a shock.
Yeah, we didn't see that coming, honestly.
Ja.
And here's
And it's a
another
second
one.
copy. Wow.
You can conduct tribute summon and acquires 2 tributes for sending one monster you control, one card you open control. Ja, okay, die ist halt...
Mario is using the effect to draw 1 card, but I don't think he ever sided in because.
Aber der sagt doch speziell Tribute Summon. Also es dürfte nicht funktionieren. Also das Hätten dürfte nicht gehen.
And hope that his opponent doesn't pick up anyway to play the game, and yeah, play is back to Etienne.
Also es dürfte nicht gehen. Weil Setzen ist halt keine Beschwörung.
Rhino comes down. Mario is cut off from activating his field spell, and I think this was a really good way for Etienne to win game 2 potentially. What a shock, but honestly, really lucky to pick up 2 copies of the trap card.
For sure. Without the other one
Kaleido
being
muss er jetzt machen.
drawn, I think we will not see this situation here.
No way, the game would have been over right there. So of course now it's really just a matter of time. It's pretty easy for Etienne to find enough damage, plays well around the Ampen using the kit, and now it will spin it back to the deck, which at the same time gives an out.
Ja, Flander ist halt nicht das geilste Deck, aber ich finde es jetzt nicht unbedingt scheiße. Ich finde die Mechanik halt ganz cool mit dem Tributbeschwören und so alles. Und dass das Deck halt competitive viable ist, finde ich jetzt auch nicht so kacke.
Now deal some damage to Mario, and this there can only be one. I think this is literally shutting down Mario's strategy.
Ja, der Chameleon One ist halt schon ekelhaft. Aber das wird Etienne gewinnen.
And you can see here Mario thinking about it. Maybe the Mystic Mine. It is Mystic Mine for Mario. Still in this game completely.
Aber er hat ja seinen Heartbeat noch.
This could be a tough one. But here we see some shuffling back. We knew that there was a Twin Twister in the graveyard, so Mario cannot rely too much on Mystic Mine. Well played by Etienne here, recognizing what he needs to do.
Ja.
And he shuffled back. Even there can be only one. Why not? Just in case.
Nee, aber Setzen ist keine Beschwörung. Es ist Setzen. Und die Karte ist auch speziell Tributbeschwörung. Also die Karte sagt gerade, if you conduct a tribute summon, that requires tributing 2 monsters. So, das heißt, du machst aber keine Tributbeschwörung, du machst ein Tribute Set. Das ist aktuell nicht das gleiche. Deswegen hätte das eigentlich nicht gehen dürfen. Hat einen Rubiner, glaube ich, gezogen.
So yeah, plays back to Etienne, who picks up. Let's see, we can't quite see the card that he just drew, but
nein, das ist das sieht er gar nicht. Das ist das Top 8. Das ist Top 8.
Who picks up the Feather Duster? Wait, this could actually change so much. Feather Duster is picked up by Mario, and there he goes. He actually kept that in. Crazy. And this can change the game completely. He doesn't really need much to.
Deshalb kann man den Yugioh auch tributieren und das Monster setzen. Genau.
Really good decision there by Mario. Didn't see it coming, and this could be the end of the game that is going.
Ja, wobei er hat es aber auch trotzdem gut gespielt. Er hat natürlich jetzt Glück gehabt, dass er die Unexplored Wins halt jeweils immer gehabt hat.
Let's see if he manages now with the Rubina.
He has the unexplored wins, which he can get rid of a lot of cards from his opponent. Playing with fire though, because he needs to be careful about his own Mystic Mine. Yeah. You really don't want to lose to your own card right there. And we see the Herald from Etienne here, which is actually kind of annoying. Discarding a Callback that cannot be activated, but if Mario has the map in his hand, this could be. But I saw it's just double shifter and Dark Ruler in the end from Mario, which now basically
das Game dauert viel zu lange.
Back to Etienne, was really
viel zu lange dauert das Game.
Keeping his odds as live as possible.
Ja, hast du schon benutzt.
Yeah, I don't think Mario has used it, so let's see this draw from Etienne. Does he finally pick up an out of his own, or is he just gonna wait? I think he goes for maybe a Baguska here to stall the game even longer. And
macht
yeah,
komplett
there
Sinn.
he goes. He was afraid of dying in the previous turn, so why not guarantee a Baguska?
Da ist der Cosmic.
By the way, it's a mandatory effect, which even under Mystic Mine detaches. So that's interesting.
Das hat nichts damit zu tun, dass der Mandatory ist, mein Freund. Das hat damit zu tun, dass es halt ein Effekt ist, der sich nicht aktiviert.
So even at those, Now we can use the unexplored winds, but wow, he actually goes for the statue. Really bold play here by Mario, who just wants to add some of these birds back from the banished pile. Interesting.
Das wird aber hier Etienne leider verlieren. Da. Ärgerlich. Also ich weiß nicht, ob Konten noch drin ist, kann ich ja nicht sagen. Das ist gerade Top 8. Ja, Team müsste nicht mehr gewinnen. Also er hat halt die Unexplored Wins gehabt. Und wer hat Tribute Set eine Karte geortet, was eigentlich gar nicht geht. Bin ich immer noch. Ja, wir gucken das fertig. Ich werde bis zum Ende streamen.
And Mario is ahead, even though if by just 300 life points, this game could also be over in time. And if not, we might see one of our first sudden death matches we have ever seen, which would be pretty cool if you ask me.
And this prosperity here can be devastating. Let's see what Mario picks up.
Dark Ruler, ja. Dark Ruler reicht ja schon.
A lot of choices from here. I think, okay, he gets the field spell.
Pretty good pickup, and we know that he has the Dark Ruler in hand, and here he comes, Dark Ruler from Mario with the map as well. This could be over. Right here, he cannot, of course, deal life points damage to his opponent, but he can get rid of the whole field, and this is huge from the Italian player again, finding a way. This deck just doesn't want to give up, and the hopes of
Etienne sieht auf jeden Fall nicht so glücklich aus.
Supporting Alberto's little bet might just be there. So great.
Nee, Flander wird nicht gated. Das macht keinen Sinn.
And as expected, he now gets rid of a couple of his opponent cards, resolves the amp, and so much advantage coming from the Italian player. Wow.
He was able to basically wait. Unfortunately, Etienne didn't find any of his Twin Twister out of his deck, and now Mario is clearing Etienne's field.
Mario in his hand, picking up that field was left for a basta, and he activated the Dark Ruler and was
Flander? Nein, Flander ist definitiv nicht zu strong. Hallo Paxa, wir gucken uns gerade die YCS in Dortmund an. Wir sind gerade in Top 8, wo wir gerade Etienne sehen mit seinem Tier Zero Deck. Da spielst du nicht durch. Unexplored Wind, einfach beste Karte in Flander.
Is he gonna try his best with this scream? Doesn't really accomplish much at the moment. This seems like it could be over real soon, so hang on tight and don't leave this match. You could be missing the end. And wow, heartbeat actually getting sent to the graveyard. Not what you want to see here from Etienne. At least he gets to add one from the graveyard back, but I don't think this matters all that.
Ja, aber er kann jetzt die Statue theoretisch überrennen. Okay, er hat Dream Town noch, ja, okay. Ja, dann Decks unberührt lässt. Ja, aber ich glaube nicht, dass Flander angefasst wird, weil es gibt... Ja. Sage Etienne. Also Etienne hat alles richtig gemacht und verliert gegen ein Top-Deck Unexplored Wind.
What a match, honestly, from the
Schade.
right start. It seems as if it was gonna be a very tense battle. Maybe not so much in game one, although we gotta mention that it was still quite back and forth. But Shifter and then were just too much and shut down the duel right away. But this game too was so back and forth.
It was incredible, honestly. I think because like for a moment we thought that Etienne was able basically.
Das ist ja die Frage, was geht in Unexplored Wins? Das ist ja so die große Frage, ne? So, hier. Die tolle Karte hier. Die kann euch einfach Games gewinnen und die kostet aktuell 2 Cent. Und die gibt es auch hier als schöne Super Rare hier. Oder Ultra ist es sogar eine Super Rare, ne? Kostet auch 2 Cent. Die kann euch Games gewinnen. Gute Karte, habe ich gehört.
couldn't quite tell who was gonna win it. For so many different moments, it seems as if one of the shoe was in
Ja, 2
advantage
Cent. Da,
at the
2
very
Cent.
beginning
Da.
with the strong opening from Etienne. Then I have to be honest with you, the
Aber seht's ja
decision
gar
of
nicht, Mensch.
negating pot of duality with Baron, I think costed him the match, because if he just waited for the evenly match, then that was over. But yeah, afterward we get to see the evenly matched. It seems as if the game is over, but then there can be only one.
So, jetzt seht ihr auch hier.
From Etienne.
Den Preis seht ihr zwar jetzt nicht, aber glaubt mir einfach, hier sind zwar 2 Cent. Da, 2 Cent für die Karte. Die gewinnt dann auch Euro Games, ne? Das neue Select, ja, glaube ich irgendwie nicht. Ich spiele immer noch Sprite, klar. Aber Runic Sprite ist halt nicht spielbar im aktuellen Format mit den Ishizu-Karten. Ja, ich werde demnächst halt Sprite mit Biscuits spielen. Die wird nicht steigen. Nein, ist halt ein One-Off.
Field spell, which was clutch because Mario risked losing to his own Mystic Mine instead.
Sprite ist ein gutes Deck.
To pick up the map and ripristino la verità in this one match. But yeah, congratulations to both for really putting out a show, and at the very end we're still kind of happy for the two of them. Really huge show, competing.
Mal gucken, ob wir uns das andere angucken.
It's a huge achievement in such an event, but hope is not lost, you know? Hope is not lost, because the remaining decks, we don't quite know the players yet. We know that they're gonna be really good, that I can assure you, but it's gonna be Mario against the 3 Ishizu tier element decks. Can he be able, will he be able to beat them and actually claim the title? Funny enough, the finals were actually an Ishizu tier mirror match back last weekend in Pasadena. But right before that, when Crystal Bank won, it was again Fluandries. So it is a deck that can and is capable of getting there, and we just saw it. 2-0.
I mean, the deck is still very annoying to play against, and especially like I think this deck built in this way, also with the Necrovalley, the addition of Metaverse getting you also the Mystic Mine on the line, and going first you have the Arpis Featherstorm, which are incredible.
Ja, das habe ich ja schon so gut gerade. Zu der Zeit gibt es gute Auswahl, was Metadecks angeht. Hoffe, Konami bringt mal was weg von der Banlist. Ne, wir haben gerade aktuell ein T0-Format. Das ist eigentlich keine gute Auswahl an Metadecks, weil es halt nur ein Deck gibt, was theoretisch halt spielbar ist. Du kannst ein Counterdeck spielen wie Flander dagegen. Oder du versuchst dich irgendwie mit Sprite durchzuboxen und hoffst, dass du nicht so viel davon abkriegst. Das ist irgendwie, keine Ahnung.
We all know that Mario and whoever advances actually wanna have a look at this beautiful trophy. Still early, still early. We got one more match for you before going to the finals, and it will be the top 4. But before we do that, thank you for being with us. This was the top 8 of YCS Dortmund. We have Ed ready with Mario for the winner interview.
Ja, Gewinner, hau raus.
Thank you, Marcello. Yes, I am joined by Mario right now, the winner of our top 8 feature match, Fluandries versus the Ishizu Tillmans, which we've seen quite a lot in this. First of all, Mario, congratulations to you. How does it feel? You're now into the top 4.
Thank you so much.
I feel
amazing.
Ungefähr.
And, it's my first top 4 in a big tournament. So
first ever one?
First, yeah. No, it's the second feature I won. And it's the first time that I got top 4 in a big event,
That's very exciting. Well, congratulations. That's already an achievement in itself. Perhaps you'll take it one step further, get into those finals, maybe even win it. Still a possibility at this point. Now, I will say, out of everyone
ich mag, by the way, den Interviewer. Der ist super.
That's not Ishizu tier. So there were a lot of people that were rooting
Also
for just based on the fact that they don't want to see pure mirror matches for the rest of this. How does that make you
also der hat Flander gespielt, Necro Valley Main Deck und die Trap Main Deck gespielt.
Yes, it's
Ist
true
das jetzt so warm mit Cap? Wo, hier? Nö.
Fluandries is not so loved because it has a lot of cards that really, I hate myself, my deck. But it's I feel really nice about this because I tested a lot with my friends, and together we build a really strong list, as you can see again in the feature match against Teil and Shizu.
It's gone incredibly well for you. Yeah, maybe it's not the most loved deck in the world, but frankly, everyone's sort of getting a little bit angry about seeing the amount of Ishizu tier. So maybe we'll see you in the final. Maybe we'll see another Flu versus Ishizu, but who knows? We'll see. Let's talk quickly about the game. There was a shifter straight off the bat for you in game one, so that was obviously very helpful. You managed to remove the Baguska with the unexplored winds and the Stry. Prosperity meant you could play against the Saliek, and then he scooped. So how are you feeling in the first game?
I am really amazed because I think that I played really well in order to resolve Necro Valley, because I know that he has the out set it. So I use Raiza and then activate Necro Valley with the trap, but obviously that shifter in the first turn was really strong, because my list is strong but it's not so consistent. A lot of cards against Arishizu, so you can brick when you start, and that start was good.
You had a couple of very good times where you just basically had what you needed to respond to almost everything that came up. So game two, a big evenly matched from you. There was a couple of moments where, you know, there can only be one back-to-back that you had to deal with. Mystic Mind from you, though, the Harpy's Feather Duster, which wiped the Pellerino, and the There Can Only Be One. The Dark Ruler no more, swap mine out for map, tributed the Baguska away. He couldn't play, so he surrendered. So that was basically game two. So you were having to keep quite composed and work through every single thing that he was putting up against you. What was going through your mind in game two?
I was really sure about that ruling to set Empen and tribute there can be, because I know that set a big one is still considered a tribute summon. So wins let that. But
Das ist aber falsch.
he got the counter on the first turn,
Ist halt ein Tribute Set.
won, but that heavily resolved and the game was normalized, equalized. And after that, RP Feeder Duster was really amazing.
Hat Joshua es echt Top 4 geschafft? Ey, wenn der Back-to-Back, ne, hier wirklich halt YCS gewinnt, dann raste ich aus, ey.
For that semi-final. But thank you very much, you guys, for watching this top 8. We will be back very soon with another quick feature match before we get into that final. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back.
Als ich gerade hier im Chat, dass offensichtlich Top 4 gegangen ist. Gucken wir mal. Wir können ja mal in der Zwischenzeit uns ein bisschen was angucken. Ich dachte, es wäre doch mal funny, wenn wir uns mal so die besten Clips aus Pasadena angucken. Und da hat der liebe Yata so ein tolles Video gemacht. Wer die Yata-Log nicht kennen, das ist Team Yata-Log. Der macht so Meme-Videos, und das ist halt YCS Pasadena Day 1 Bestes Clips. Und wir gucken uns gleich noch einmal Day 2 davon an. Und ich sagen, das geht 8 Minuten, gucken wir mal rein. Müsste nicht Judges geben, die das klarstellen mit den Tributbeschwörungen. Also die Magiekarte. Also wird alles verwundert, sagt halt spezifisch wirklich halt Tributbeschwörung, und halt ein Setzen ist halt keine Beschwörung. Sonst. Es geht halt einfach nicht. Gucken wir mal. Pasadena, Best Clips Day 1. Da ist er, Blackbeard.
Why isn't it possible? It's just not. Why? Stupid bastard. Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no.
Die Zero Day 1. Candina.
Yes, and she does.
Ja, ganz unrelated heute, ne? Ich habe heute eine Cosplayerin gesehen, die hat sich als Ecclesia verkleidet. Also ein Cosplayer von Ecclesia mit so einem geilen Hammer. Richtig geil. Ich weiß nicht, wir können ja mal auf Instagram gucken, weil ich glaube, Niska hat dazu eine Story gemacht. Können wir ganz kurz hier einmal kurz so reinschmeißen.
Ich habe kein Brave Flander gespielt, Kinders. Ich war
So,
auf Sprite Bestial den ganzen Tag über. Und soll ich was sagen? Ich habe da jetzt meinen Sprite, ich habe 3 Blues verkauft, ich habe 2 Elfen verkauft, ich habe 3 Starter verkauft.
Alles verkauft.
Ich will so runde Side-Events mit Pendulum. So. Da ist ein Typ angewackelt gekommen.
Da war ich auch drin. Hallo.
Ha, haben wir gefunden. Ja, GTV fehlt. Bisschen Bruder und Geist, die andere Hälfte von Trust and my Main.
Der ist auf jeden Fall da. Was die andere Hälfte?
Ja, ich muss mir jetzt hier mit diesem Budget-DTV abschließen.
Was ist gleich? Ich bin nur einen halben Meter kleiner geworden.
3 Meter, 3 Köpfe kleiner als der Mann.
Da, hier, guck dir das. Guck, kann ich Pause machen? Guck dir das mal an. Guck mal, wie geil ist das bitte? Dieser Hammer, dieses Teil da, ne? Das ist halt auch richtig groß gewesen, ne? Das sieht schon richtig, richtig fett aus, ne? Das war crazy, ne? Ich meine, Niska ist hier gerade wieder richtig dabei, aber das ist halt richtig geil. Ja, aber ich fand das halt cool, weil das war die einzige, die ich gesehen habe. Okay, weiter geht's zu besten Moment aus Brasilien. Das wollte ich kurz nochmal zeigen. Mittlerweile ist er auf jeder YCS, ja.
Victoria is using somewhat of that strategy where she can hold down the fort with her back row cards, but she's
Auch richtig offen, ne? Sie hat einfach Allo aktiviert und zieht einfach dann nichts nach.
going to use a Lure of Darkness to draw 2 and hopefully for her draw into a strong turn 1 opening.
Yeah, I don't see any dark monsters there. It's just Harpy's Feather Duster and a Ghost Girl. So those are all going to head to the graveyard.
Yikes, that did not pan out.
Sedge.
Duelists tend to be so focused on streamlining their deck to make
Shifter.
it as the ceiling for the deck as powerful as possible.
Ooh, that's brutal. Tyler starts off with the Dimension Shifter.
Yeah, he sided that in. He has 3 in his side deck. Zombie decks are heavily reliant on cards going to the graveyard, so that may just end her turn.
Ja, das stimmt. Vlad.
I would say it's maybe the #2 contender almost here this weekend. A lot of players running it.
Yeah, I have heard of a lot of players on my local running it as well at the YCS this weekend.
Prosperity.
Definitely one of the top choices. It's going to start with a Starlight, Pot of Prosperity.
Holy shit.
Ooh, you see Macrocosmos already and Dimension Shifter.
Er hat einfach alles.
So things are already going to be tough for Albert. Looks like he's going to go with the macro.
He is going first. Oh, but Michael does have Dimension Fish.
And he has Herald of Orsley.
Which makes it like going first, but Herald of
Und jetzt hat er verkackt.
And the way he did it, we can't tell what it is. His opponent can't either, but it is a Guido. This is the combo I've been talking about. When you're playing against Shifter, if you have Orange Light Guido, you go from not being able to play the game to turning everything online instantly.
Oh, so good.
This is all still in the draw phase. We haven't even moved into the standby phase
so
yet.
He's using Ghost Sister in the draw phase, but Holt by the Grave banishes it and negates its effect.
Still in draw phase.
Wow, I don't even know that's a good call by. Yeah, so it would just be a draw. So yeah, definitely not the way he probably wanted to play out. But yeah, giving up 10 minutes in a game that you could never win cost you here.
Yeah,
maybe he didn't realize there was 3 more minutes on the clock, and so when he got to that point in his turn, he's like, "Oh well, time's about to be called." And they were like, "Well, there's actually 3 more minutes, to go." He's like, "Well, I guess I can't do this now." So he ends up turning into a draw. Just actually a crazy game, but
yeah, it's safe to say that Albert probably would have won that had it been able to continue because Michael had nothing going for him there.
Ja, richtig gut, richtig gut. Cucumber Horses. Diese Karte ist einfach so geil. Der war der beste Typ, Alter, der die ganze Zeit rumgetanzt da. Und los, komm, gib mir den Fortnite-Tanz. Gib mir den Fortnite-Tanz.
In this series, both Nimnim and myself will be opening 24 booster packs or one
Can
box
we have
of
Gage and Simo? Mom, we have Gage and Simo at home.
This is tough because he's already used his battle phase this time on the Evenly Gambit.
That is huge. Oh,
Artifacts. Hi, Artifact Sanctum. Interesting.
Right now I have a Cyber Dragon deck that I brought to the match. I'm not expecting to do very well with it, but it's what I've got.
Oh, der ist so süß, ey. Cyber Dragon Phil, ey.
Well, and we're going to see one right now here in round 4. Let's meet our duelists. First off,
we have Doug from
Grand Rapids. His friendship with Sangan is sadly over, and Fabled Raging is his best friend now. One that was, whether it was Vadis or returning.
Oh, das war so painful. Ah, das war so painful, dieses Feature-Match.
Next up, we're going to get Banner 6
Oh,
Dichotomy.
es tat mir so leid. Pot of Dichotomy. Oh, es tat mir so leid, der Arme.
Switches to Shizuku,
Ja.
activates Mystic Mine.
One thing right now that I feel most people agree on is that Mystic Mine is a poorly designed card that probably never should have been made in the first place.
Hey everybody, Joseph Rothschild here, aka
BT. Cool one. I like Pot of Greed. It's classic.
Yep, that's, I've seen a lot of people using Pot of Greed. That's a iconic. What does it do?
Oh my god.
Oh man, Sprite Starter and Mark Chain's totally awesome, but Paulo has Gamma.
Ciphering Gear Gamma, he sided it in going second.
Crazy, crazy.
Oh man.
That's huge.
Oh mein Gott, ey, jedes Mal. Obwohl mit der Musik auch so richtig geil, ey. This guy was the problem card. Ja, tanz für mich. Duality of Player Base.
And it goes into Sprite Sprint. Now that.
Was ist hier geht? Oh, Top 4, oh mein Gott. Warum waren die so schnell? Joshua hat wirklich die Top 4 geschafft. Und er spielt wirklich Ishizu Tier. So, jetzt haben wir eigentlich verpasst.
So, if you're having 3 Mudora in your GUI, I guess it is safe to say that you can use one here.
Yep, absolutely.
Das Mirror Match. Aber selbst hätte Joshua den Dice gewonnen. 11.
Sheet of paper there, what kind of effects they have already used. Definitely in this mirror match, quite important because
Ach, Sprint, ja, okay.
You don't want to use any effects twice. Oh, and look,
we are chain blocking the Sprite Sprint with.
Er mildt alles jetzt hier.
Or we are not chain blocking it.
Maybe he went for chain link 2 Sprite Sprint.
That's what it looked like. So we are sending the Merly, of course. This is the last name.
Ja, das ist noch was anderes, alle mal in echt zu sehen, ne?
Has a Saranir as well.
We are about to see.
Salik milled and one more monster card, which I think might be a Bestial.
Interesting.
Let's see. Joshua still is not done here.
Oh, and Vincenzo is tippy-tapping on the board. He is considering if he has something that he can activate here. And is this actually Saranir? Is this Saranir? No, it's
Kelbeck.
Oh, it is the Kelbeck. So Vincenzo going second, really starting with a very interactive hand in the opponent's turn. He has the double Bestial plus Kelbeck as interruptions for his opponent. Really strong stuff here for him. Giving that Shyren back to the hand, robbing Joshua of one of the level 4 bodies he could potentially turn into a dweller.
Exactly. Usually you would think you want to bounce the Link monster because it goes into the extra deck and isn't another resource in hand of Joshua, but you really want to deny him the Abyss Dweller, which is
Jesse died at Top 16. Also Jesse Cotton hat es nicht in die Top 8 geschafft.
Of course knows what he's doing here, being in top 4. They have played mirror matches all day long, so they are experts in that by now.
And still there
ja, der oder alles im Grave rein, ne? Ist halt das Deck.
For a Mud Dragon here, he can just safely go into the Roll Claws, which is a interruption on the opponent's turn.
Yep.
And I think he should still resolve Salik, right? So he can get a Halfness, or did he already fetch one?
Did he? Oh yeah, he did know the Salik, you're right. There is the Salik in the graveyard, but apparently he did not trigger it. So...
Or he already searched one. I mean, we can't really see the entire picture there.
Ja, das ist schon ziemlich strong.
But it's an interesting decision by Vincenzo that he went for the Druid's Womb first and then for the Magnamut after, because quite frankly, resolving the Magnamut on board probably is more important. And he just decided to go the other way around with it and went for the Druid's Womb first. But I mean, having Druid's Womb on the field on the other end is also pretty insane, because this can give you the chance to trigger its graveyard effect. Therefore, it's both options are decent, I would say.
Aber natürlich der Schrei auf dem Feld ist natürlich für Yugioh auch ziemlich gut, weil er einfach mit 3 Karten wählen kann, wenn ein Monster beschworen wird. Das ist schon ziemlich gut. Es ist sehr, sehr gut möglich, dass wir selbst bei den nächsten Battles schon Hits sehen werden für die Schlüsselkarten.
Maybe he thinks in the mirror match Scream is just too good because it will also give you a save mill on your opponent's turn when he's summoning monsters. So you don't really need to rely on hitting with Halfness or something because
Stellar Gameplay auf jeden Fall hier. Er macht nix.
So Vincenzo appears to have drawn a card already because he is on 4 cards in hand with Kalbeck and Ruiz. That makes 6, and now we are in his main phase 1.
Mudora.
He almost summons Mudora, which is an odd play, and this opens up Yugioh to activate Hüllen and Scream.
But he doesn't do it, and now Vincenzo, maybe before doing any other play, starts his turn off with an Abyss Dweller. That is what is happening, and that could shut down all the interruptions that Yugioh potentially has in the graveyard. We know that he has multiple Mudoras, and those might just get shut down. But yeah, Yugioh is pointing towards the Scream, and yes, he wants to mill 3 cards on the summon of Dweller, and he hits Agido.
And none of those will be able to activate, because Dweller will resolve before they have the option to activate in a new chain.
Yeah, of course. It's also a quick effect, so just unsummon the Dweller being chain link number 1. And look, Vincenzo just going for battle phase, running over the Sprite Sprint with the Abyss Dweller. Wait, he actually crashed it. He forgot about the Scream. He crashed his Dweller into the
Sprite Sprint,
forgetting about the attack loss because of Teal and Scream. This can't be real.
No, you just gave away the Abyss Dweller. This is huge for Yugioh.
You gave away one of the most important resources in the mirror match.
Oh, imagine, du vergisst die Karten, die du selber spielst.
You always want to have Abyss Dweller on the board, and you just gifted it to your opponent by running into the Sprite Sprint. This can't be made up. Yugioh Smith, by his pure appearance there at the
yes, table. I was gonna say that. Is this the famous Yugioh Schmidt aura where your opponent is just intimidated by you sitting down?
That must be the case.
Crazy shit, ey.
Now we understand why he searched for Tealman Scream, right? Because he totally has foreseen that.
Ich verstehe trotzdem nicht, warum Yugioh nicht Scream auf die Beschwörung von Mudora gemacht hat. Oder geht das nur auf die Spezialbeschwörung?
Absolutely marvelous by him to go for the Scream there.
So Perla Rhino is now going to search. I mean,
beide auf
Vincenzo is in a pretty decent spot, right? He gave away his Abyss Dweller, which is a valuable resource. However, this turn, the Abyss Dweller is still active.
It is.
Ja, aber immer noch ein Rückverlust, von daher.
Yugioh has Perla Rhino on board. And we are activating Chiron. There's not really anything that could stop that there from Yugioh, so... I mean, okay, he could have actually chained the colors to negate that, but he decided not to.
Wow, Scream and another Rhino... No, Chiron and Scream. Wow.
And the Rhino was discarded, right? So there's definitely plenty of stuff. Yugioh, on a smaller Bestial package, but still packing in triple Druid's Womb and triple Magnamoot, so the potential on his side for Bestials is also quite big.
So now we are seeing not a window for Mudora and Agido, Mudora and Caldo, because Dweller is still active.
Dweller ist eine gute Karte, habe ich gehört.
This is actually going to be a big fusion party for Vincenzo, and he was able to chain block the Chiron if he even activated it. I did not see that.
Yep, we're searching for the Salik.
He can pop the roll colors, and it won't be able to summon itself back.
Ich weiß nicht, haben wir schon den Top-Cut-Breakdown gesehen, wie viele wirklich TSGs gespielt haben? Weil ich glaube, jetzt sind hier nur noch TSGs drin und ein Flanders-Spieler, glaube ich. Ne?
And as you say, he's starting a fusion party, and also he has Mudora in graveyard already, so he could basically shuffle back all the shufflers in Yugioh's graveyard, and he would have no winner to respond to that because of that Abyss Dweller that resolved early on. Luckily, he activated before attacking, right?
True.
Imagine he would have just crashed into it. That would have been crazy.
Painful, but why did he even go into battle phase this early?
Yugioh spielt ja nicht, weil Yugioh spielt TSG so. Das ist nur Spreitsprint, die kannst du ja in dem Ding machen, was schnell Sounds hat. Moin, moin, Thompson. Schön, dass du da bist. Wir sehen jetzt hier, wie Yugioh...
Very good question indeed. Beat over. I mean, there was a lot of potential to OTK this turn.
Yeah, indeed. But he rather just got his Dweller under the wheels of that Sprite Sprint. And yep, but he's still going. And I mean, to be fair, Yugioh
Wie viel kann er ja schon noch?
Doesn't have a whole lot of cards in his hand, so his comeback potential isn't that great here. So even though, as you were already saying, he gave away his Abyss Dweller, I think chances for Vincenzo are quite decent in this game
16.
still.
Yeah, I mean, he searched for more follow-up.
81%.
He will put up a big board, and he also has the Magnamut in hand. Can we check the extra deck of Vincenzo Orofino to see which rank 6 exceeds he's running? He's running both, and he is running Time Thief Reduo.
He has found a lot of space in his extra deck.
Wow. And he is running
Sieht auf jeden Fall nicht gut aus für Joshua. Ich weiß ja nicht, wie viel Handkarten hat Joshua noch?
That's a good question, but let's focus on what's happening here. We had the big milling play. We had the mill 8. We milled a bunch of... Oh, we milled a bunch of actual Bistials, and now he can freely activate the effect of Kelbeck as well, because all the stuff that Joshua is milling here is not going to be crazily important, because Abyss Dweller is still applying here.
And he also has not used any of his shufflers, so the more shufflers you get, the better his position will be, because at the end of the turn he can just say, okay, affect Keldo or Mudora and shuffle back all of your graveyard interactions.
Ich bin echt mal gespannt, wie das hier ausgeht.
Turn, basically. I mean, you will ideally summon.
Also Joshua muss noch irgendwas auf der Hand haben, mit dem was machen kann.
Abyss Dweller resolved, so all the resources in Joshua's graveyard aren't able to use their effects. And I can totally understand why everybody is summoning Abyss Dweller and is just trying everything in their first turn. Even if it is the only monster left on the end board, they really wanted to beat the Abyss Dweller, and yeah, it's showing.
Ja, du weißt halt nicht, was Joshua erwartet hat. Ich glaube, wenn er keine Chance auf den Sieg hätte, hätte er schon gescoopt, glaube ich.
Yep, we are also recycling V-Kit colors back to the extra deck. That's also really good.
And now we are questioning.
Did we even shuffle in between?
Already, yes, apparently. We did.
And there comes the Kaleido Heart.
Yeah, and this one is going to get really Sharon, I'm pretty sure of that. How many cards does Joshua actually have in his hand? Because we haven't seen those at all in this turn, and I think he has a Harvest. And I also wonder why he did not activate Telemann's Scream on the Mudora normal summon, because that looked like the perfect timing to do so. Like, maybe you can get a Dragostopelia on board as well.
Wie weit sind die deutschen YouTuber gekommen? Ich glaube, von denen hat keiner in der E2 geschafft, glaube ich, weil Miska ist, glaube ich, 6-3 gegangen, wenn ich richtig mal weiß. Ich glaube, Maurice ist 5-3-1 gegangen, meine ich.
No card on board for Joshua Schmidt. Turns out opening double Bestial plus Kelbeck is really good in the mirror match.
And you know what? Mudora is probably going to put back the Dweller to the extra deck, so he lost the Dweller, but he's probably going to get it back anyways here, because he could easily recycle it there, and he now would have 2 level 4 monsters back on the board. So the mistake of running into the Sprite Sprint might actually not even be important at all, because look, right there, he is taking his Abyss Dweller back to the extra deck.
It was all planned from the start. He just wanted to give Joshua the illusion that he was ahead, that he was basically throwing this game, but nope, Vincenzo doesn't. He still ends up on Dweller.
Yeah, it's just a showcase of extra class.
Exactly.
He just took an extra step to show everybody how competent he is, how comfortable he feels in this game, even though he just gave away 1 body.
Spiral ist noch gar nicht so lange her, das ist 2019 gewesen, das ist jetzt nicht so lange her.
Meaning we have access to Dweller already.
And I mean, not only that he takes away all the resources in Joshua's graveyard, those are bad draws if you're in a disadvantageous position.
That is absolutely true. By the way, shall I tell you something really
interesting? War 2017?
Always, please.
Ja, Ende 2017, Anfang 2018 dann. 2019 kam es doch wieder zurück, weil doch die Souls gekommen sind, oder nicht? War doch 2019.
He's not even playing in the main deck, and I think I haven't seen a single Telemann's list all weekend long that didn't main deck.
2020, ja.
I mean, in this position, it looks like it was a big mistake to not bring Crime, but I mean, it has worked for him so far.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. So he's going for the Abyss Dweller again, of course.
Habitante dell'Abisso.
Yep, and Joshua faces quite a lot here. There's still Kaleido Heart on board. We
ja, Masterblock kann gerne Band bleiben.
There's Abyss Dweller on board now. Are we also going into Sprite Elf here maybe to have access for for a reborn of our Merly in our opponent's turn?
No, we are going for the Magnamoot, and we want to set up either Beatrice or Wallow. Those are we're also getting rid of a Merly, which is also.
Ich habe nicht mitgespielt, Main Event. Ich musste gestern arbeiten. Ich hätte wahrscheinlich aber auch nicht.
And there he is again, one of our favorite cards, maybe the best card from Darkwing Blast. Wallow, founder of the Judge Dragons, being summoned here, and it's capable of actually just using one of his opponent's cards. But for now, he just wants it as another interruption, because as we know, it is a quick effect to just shuffle back one card from your opponent's graveyard as well. So basically an extra Bestial, and by resolving the on-field effect of Bestial Magnamoot, we're also going to replace that for another Bestial.
Aber kommt immer so weit? Gute Frage. Bei der DM ist er nicht so weit gekommen.
Is he giving away the information that he's running Sauron here? No, he's not.
Ja, ich weiß, wie die meisten YouTuber gespielt haben unter YCS. Es ist keiner in der Tour gekommen, von denen, die ich getroffen habe. Und ich habe mit Maurice gesprochen, mit Niska, mit Ehren, Muri. Victor habe ich nicht gesehen. Vielleicht war er auch nicht da. Kann ja sein, dass er zurückgefahren ist.
Crowd is cheering Vincenzo Orofino on here.
And Joshua packs up his cards. This game one goes to Vincenzo Orofino, and the Italians in the crowd are cheering.
Yep. I said it earlier.
Also jetzt, Joshua hat quasi nur gescoutet, was er alles für Karten spielt und wie er davon spielt. Okay, das kann man machen. Ob das jetzt wirklich halt wert war, die Zeit dafür aufzugeben. Teledart ist das Format mit Emergency Teleport plus halt Dark Arm Dragon. Also DAD für Dark Arm Dragon.
It is our home turf YCS for the German community, and then taking
okay, ich weiß nicht, wie, weil ich weiß nicht, ob er den Tour geschafft hat, weil er hat zumindest nicht mitbekommen, der nicht gespielt. Aber ich glaube, er ist irgendwie 6-2-1 oder so gegangen, ich weiß nicht, oder 5-3-1 oder so, irgendwie so was. Habe ich jetzt Belbo gespielt, habe ich gesehen.
Yeah, absolutely, but still that Ferranderese player is still going strong in the tournament. He's in top 4
currently. He also won the last featured match versus Ishizo tier elements, and I can already tell you he is going to face a lot more Ishizo tier elements if he continues to win this, because he is actually the only Fluwanderese player with 7 tier Shizu decks.
Yeah, so now going first for Yugioh Schmidt.
Ja, we just talked about it. There's
Tillman's Prime in his side deck. Do you think that is coming in now? Because he must certainly always bring this in when he's going first, right? There's no other chance.
I think so.
Yeah. Then also, of course, Called by the Grave, pretty easy contestant to come in going first as well. All right.
Even though I like this card a bit more going second, because like the hand interaction of his opponents are monsters that are not discarded to the GY. It's Bestials, they're activating in hand, and then you have one more card in your hand that you can't play with.
The thing though is, when you go second, your opponent already has set up some shufflers, and that could always dodge the Called by the Grave. Therefore, I'm not totally in love with it. But let's see what else is there to come. We see Triple Tactics Talent coming in for Yugioh Schmidt.
Yes.
Most likely is going to come in, I'm pretty sure. And now, for the going second options, on Vincenzo's side, there might be Ghost Bell coming in. He's not making any Herald of the Orange Light, so those might very well come in as well. And then also Triple Tactics Talents on his side. And we see that the players are ready for this game number 2. So let's not have them wait any longer. Let's go into game number 2 of here of
Game 2.
Top 4
Joshua fängt an. Let's go. Jetzt wollen wir mal sehen hier. TK sein und Judgment auf 1 und ist direkt wieder aus Spellbook gesprungen. Ja, wenn das Deck mache. Ich finde Spellbook ist ein optisch sehr cooles Deck. Ich habe noch gefragt gehabt, TK, warum Spellbook? Und er hat mir gesagt gehabt, ich mag das Deck. Und wenn ihr mich fragt, ist das eine ziemlich gute Begründung, so ein Deck zu spielen. Die Karte lebt nicht lange im TCG, doch Spellbook auf Judgment wird wahrscheinlich sogar auf 3 gehen. Wird das mir auch im Wert auf 3 zurückkommt, weil es mal fairer wird. Glaube ich eher weniger. Abend, wie weit ist Miraculous gegen GT ist es? Also das erste, was ich jetzt im Stream sehe, glaube ich. Ich habe gerade nur Flander gesehen und jetzt sehe ich halt hier das erste Mirror.
Absolutely, all the Bestial cards are really strong, but we might actually also see Triple Tactic Talents in the hand of Joshua Schmidt, and this would be a almost blowout for Vincenzo if he has.
Ich fand Werte jetzt keine unfaire Karte, muss ich fairerweise sagen.
Yep, Shire is using its effect, discarding Caldo, and we're hitting Havnes Merli.
And another Havnes. So the thing is,
bisschen zu viele
do you
Namen.
now activate all of these effects? Do you activate Merli and Havnes?
No.
I think Merli usually has the effect you don't want to use very early because you have the chance to send it later on in the combo with Sprint.
Obviously, if you only use one of those, then you will activate Havnes.
Sehe ich anders.
There is a good chance. Oh, there was a thumbs up from Vincenzo. Joshua is actually allowed to resolve those, and I think we are very likely to see a Kid Colors plus Garura on board.
That is maybe what is happening here.
Actual fusion summons, what is this?
Yep, game one that wasn't really possible for Joshua, but now Vincenzo nods his head, allows him to do what he wants.
Ja, die Fusionen, die Werte bekannt sind, ein bisschen schwierig. Aber ich finde selbst, also das, was Werte macht, ist halt ein Monster in der Endphase, also in der Endphase zu holen, am Ende der Combo. Und ja, nichts getroffen, einfach ein Whiff. Strong.
This is not helping him at all. We see that he's also one of the players that runs Ghostbound Haunted Mansion.
A popular card for sure.
Yep, it has risen in popularity a bit lately, but he's not bringing it in the main deck. He's only running it in a side deck, but 3 copies of it, so he definitely values it quite a bit.
So now we are cutting the deck again. I have not quite seen what Joshua
has Scream.
Was it Scream again? I mean, this time he has Pellerino, so he could actually pop the Scream to search for a Crime or Salik. Now Rhino Heart is normal summoned and we only have one more name left.
Ich finde aber Werte nicht schlimm, weil es eine Karte ist, die du am Ende deiner Combo machen musst. Das heißt, die musst du am Ende deiner Combo machen.
Look, he really values his Scream a lot more than the other effects. He's never chain blocking the monster effects. He rather wants to chain block the Scream, actually. He always wants the Scream to resolve.
He is really trying to hit the Mudora here.
And he is
getting
the
Mudora. The Salik as well. I hope for him that he has a Crime in his deck. And Saronir is
there is the
now.
Saronir now for Vincenzo, hitting the Shiren
well
that Joshua milled.
Really well played by Vincenzo by announcing Merli and Havnes. Joshua basically
Aber das
said,
Keldo.
if you have a Bestial, that's okay with me. I will summon my Kid Killers, but now we are going to see. Okay, so this is interesting. Joshua actually decided to use Caldo to shuffle back Salik and Shiren, and of course also the Druid Swarm of his opponent. But that means that the Saronir stays in hand. Of course, you don't give your opponent the body.
Yeah.
However, he will have Saronir in hand for the next turn.
That is absolutely true. And Saronir as a body on board, it's the weakest of the Bestials because Magnamut on the field very obviously gives you another Bestial in the end phase. Druid Swarm is dangerous because
ich finde auch mit Easy Plan B an sich nicht so schlimm.
It will trigger and pop a card on your side of the field. But Saronir doesn't really do anything.
Ich fand auch damals die August Engine nicht schlimm, aber alle Leute meckern immer rum, weil es kann nicht was tun.
Planet Pellerino to pop the Tillman Scream. He just shuffled back the Salik and he's pointing to the Scream.
Yeah, that must be. It's the target of Pellerino. Can't imagine in any other way because he already used the mill effect of Scream, and yep, we are popping our own Scream to search for either Salik or the Crime that he probably has.
Muss jetzt Crime haben.
By the way, there is no target for Dark in the graveyard of Vincenzo. So what do you do with this board here? I mean, we have now okay, you also have the Kid Colors effect from the field now. Kind of forgot about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we can still just go for a lot more mills here with Kid Colors, first of all. And then afterwards, we can just look what else is there. And if he gets away into Merli with the Kid Colors, then you have a level 2 body, and I think we're just going to see a Sprite Elf play most likely.
I mean, we are probably going to see a Dweller if the Kid Colors resolves to summon back the Shiren.
That is also a good way, yeah, for sure.
Dweller, decent card this format.
So, we are announcing Kid Colors here.
Not really too much you want to mill. You want to hit another Caldo, because you don't have yours in your
Prank ist mit Miao Miao? Nein,
yep.
nicht mal annähernd.
Milling Agidos or Kelbacks, because I don't think we can afford ourselves to mill more cards here for our opponent. And there, there is Mudora and Caldo. There we go. That's a good mill for Joshua. He gets both shufflers as he wanted to.
Vincenzo asked Joshua, Calbeck effect, and Joshua was just smiling. Nope, I'm not going to use this one now.
Such a fun atmosphere here in the top 4 of YCS Dortmund, biggest YCS championship we've ever had here in Europe. Oh, he's actually using his own Magnamut now on Magnamut in the graveyard.
Okay, ja, das macht aber Sinn.
Makes sense. He can set up a Wallow or a Beatrice, whatever he runs, with the Garura. Detaching will give him a draw, and he gets rid of his own
Magnamut. Da würden die Tier 2 sein können. Nein, die Dragonura sind nicht so gut.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, he also is on both Beatrice and Wallow.
The cards are just too good.
Absolutely, and there it is. It is the Beatrice. We're ending
einfach
on a
schöne
rank
Beatrice
4
zu sehen, die
and
halt
a
keine
rank
Gold
6
ist. Das ist
here.
einfach so
And
schön.
that's a pretty good combination because the one, the rank 4, the Abyss Dweller, disables your opponent from playing, and the other, Beatrice, enables you to play on your opponent's turn.
Plus, you get a draw.
Yep, that's also kind of nice.
That's the question.
So this
Was passiert
Holt on
jetzt?
the field is looking kind of sad, not going to lie. Trying to help Vincenzo overcome Joshua's powerful first turn, but not being helpful at all.
So, Vincenzo draws for turn. It looked like a trap to me, which wouldn't be too powerful going second. But let's see. What can he bring? What does he have?
So we know that Joshua has.
Ja, aber ich
Sully,
schnell
right?
betreten.
Yep, that should be Sully's set. And he also
Welchen Sens halt Aubertin, was passieren würde, wenn man alle Metadecks wieder belebt, wenn Tier und Cheese exit. Ja, ich glaube, spannend wird das glaube ich nicht. Schade, dass kein Yugioh geklappt hat. Wenn man so sehen möchte, ist ja Joshua mittlerweile auch ein Yugioh-Tuber, das heißt, es hat ja einer gedoppt. Halt nur keiner der Deutschen. Das finde ich schon schade, aber Muri, der absolute Ehrenmann, hat übrigens Ishizu Naturia gespielt.
The big commitment, as I like to call it, because if you just send one of the dark tier elements, then you will get one fusion summon, but Rhinoheart most of the time actually gives you 2 fusion summons already.
And I mean, the good thing with Rhinoheart is it doesn't lose to one Bestial, and I think that this is safer route. You're calling it the big commitment, I'm calling it the safe route, to be honest.
Fair enough. So Murley is going to get banished by Saronir. I think that Joshua is going to let this one slide.
Yeah.
Yep, that's how it is. Saronir hitting the board. Both players knew about that Saronir because it tried to summon itself to the field last
Und jetzt
turn, but
kommt
it was denied by Joshua.
Harkness. Okay, also hat Sharon noch in der Hand.
Here, so how is this going to play out? Do we see a Magnamut or a Druid's Womb from the hand of Vincenzo? No, he's actually just going to go for the Harkness, and this might actually result in a pop already with the.
Or he could also go for
a
ja.
scooping. No. 17
Vincenzo.
minutes for game 3 now. Vincenzo versus Joshua.
Aber auf jeden Fall der richtige Weg hier zu gucken, weil es konnte so ein Mega wahrscheinlich.
Joshua Schmidt equalizes it. It is now 1-1 between him and Vincenzo Orofino, and we are going
Nur weil ein Deck gut ist, heißt ja nicht, man halt die Decks, die vorher gut waren, alle wieder komplett beleben kann. Das macht ja nicht viel Sinn.
Joshua being able to start both times.
Ist das letzte YCS dieses Jahr? Ich schätze mal schon. Zumindest hier in Europa.
For the first time. In the first game, he had one Bestial, then he had a second one, and then he had the callback as well. That stopped Joshua from doing basically anything. There you have seen our lovely crowd. These guys are being amazing all the time, by the way.
For sure.
In Game 2.
Das ist halt geil, die Kommentatoren sitzen quasi oben auf dem Podest und gucken quasi direkt in die Crowd rein. Das ist halt auch ganz nice eigentlich.
He's running such a big package of Bestials. Do you think he's going to side out any going first? Because if he's not, he might actually clock a little bit on them. Because if you have so many Bestials, your actual gameplay does get stopped a little bit because there's so many level 6 monsters you can do nothing with normally.
It depends on what
Finde ich jetzt nicht so
he might
funny.
go for triple tactic talents.
Yeah,
he might want to keep actually the ghost spell in instead of one of the Bestials because you can protect yourself from your opponent's Bestials.
Sure.
And I think there is some space for it. And he's also siding Herald of the Orange Light, and I think that this is for rogue matchups.
I do believe so
this
as well.
This is to counter Shifter.
Yeah, I don't think this is coming in, especially not going first here versus Joshua Schmidt in the mirror match in the semi-finals of this tournament. Don't believe that is going to help him at all here.
Es gibt ein chinesisches Turnier, wo bis auf ein paar Ausnahmen aller Karten unlimited wurde und die Team hat gegen Full Power Zodiac gewonnen. In diesem Zweifel ist Full Power Zodiac ins Finale gekommen.
Maybe that is what's going to happen. Maybe we're going to have an all-Italian finals flu versus the good old Ishizu tier deck. That is probably
weil sein Gerätewesen Meta ist.
Also
das Traurige bei Gerätewesen ist ja, das Deck selber ist halt, also die Karten selber sind halt gar nicht kacke. Die haben aber nur 2 gute Karten, 3 gute Karten. Und das reicht ja nicht. So, Edison oder Goat? Also, Goat habe ich ja damals gespielt, als es da war. Ich bin ja schon lange im Game. Edison war, glaube ich, das mit 2011 oder so. Ungefähr, das hier Card-Trooper-Ding. Das müsste Kartüberformat sein, ne? Ich habe dafür halt kein Deck, aber würde ich auch spielen, wenn ich im Abi würde ich ein Deck dafür hätte, ja, würde ich spielen, aber...
Triple tactic talents already, and this is 50% a good sign, 50% a bad sign. I mean 80% a good sign. And it is a good sign because he also has the Rhino Heart.
Rhino Heart und das Meta auf jeden Fall. Hafnis. Und Agide und...
Caldo and Mudora are decent. It's not what you want to have, but
es ist trotzdem gut.
Can now generate a big advantage with the triple tactic talents.
Wenn man China dann ist hier das beste Deck aller Zeiten. Das ist nicht wichtig. Hallo Crow. Schön, dich mal nicht im Wald zu sehen. Ich habe den Chat übrigens nicht erzählt, wie wir heute zu dem Event gekommen sind. Also können wir gerne auslassen.
I think it doesn't really matter. I think he would go for Mudora, but it really does the same, as we all know. But rather the interesting question is he going to shuffle back anything else? Is he going to shuffle back his own Druid Swarm there or not?
I don't think Druid Swarm is necessary to be shuffled back.
I don't believe so either. So, let's see. That Talent is
das
going
beste Deck aller Zeiten für mich.
So far he hasn't activated the Hafnis.
Schwer zu sagen. Das ist wirklich schwer zu sagen.
Vincenzo, I like what he's
he did not activate the Hafnis at all. Just not using the Hafnis. Now using the effect of Mudora.
Weil in der Regel ist es dann so, dass halt die Decks halt progressiv halt stärker werden.
Now he would be able to activate Gravediggers Trap with Mudora, the Sword Oracle. However, this is not a card he's running in his main deck.
Yeah, not Gravediggers, but Gravekeeper's Trap, of course.
Switching those up.
No worries, no worries. But really good. You can see that Vincenzo has tasted to this matchup a bunch. If you just summon Dweller first of all and put your opponent on Dweller, you're just good. Your opponent cannot use any of his shufflers, and you can then at some point just shuffle it back with your own shufflers.
Okay, so now another interesting move. He is actually using Caldo immediately on the discard of Calbeck, so it could not even trigger at all.
That's true.
Even if Vincenzo wanted to, and this means that Joshua thinks that maybe Vincenzo does not really have place to go into. And I think at this point, you have to go for a play like this, because if he has an
amazing gar nicht so blöd, ne?
Then
aber er hat dann auch Tactics, ne?
True. And you know what? He did shuffle back to Druid Swarm, but first of all, he's going to use the talents, and his talent's going to be used to draw 2 cards. It is indeed. We are drawing for Hafnis and Druid Swarm, if I saw correctly.
And those are not the 2 cards you want to see. You can easily go for a Dweller here, of course.
Lass nochmal einkaufen, Leute. Läuft bei dir.
One turn if your opponent does not have a huge answer to it. And you have the Hafnis, which is also a really strong card.
Yep, I think he heard your words. I think he will be going for the Abyss Dweller right there. Having a quick double check with his cards in hand.
This is still not the board you want to go for.
Not really. It's not the greatest. It didn't look too great that Joshua only milled the shufflers and no element names, but the shufflers really did enough here.
Scheint auf jeden Fall zu reichen hier.
He's
not even willing to go into the Dweller here, but I think you have to go for Dweller because Redoer doesn't seem like it's enough.
Du musst Dweller machen hier.
Gives you more of an edge in the mirror match.
Also mach gerne Redoer, das ist auf jeden Fall fein so.
I think with his 3 cards in hand that this is the only card that can make him play. I mean, he can use it immediately on the Rhino Heart and then activate the Rhino Heart in the graveyard.
Oh yes,
einfach in Top 4 der Kamen Redoer, ganz wichtig.
That's true. Mudora could just answer that. Maybe Vincenzo just forgot about the Mudora.
Wird nicht Meta.
He is detaching the Rhino Heart indeed.
Keep in mind, there was no Dweller resolved this turn. Mudora is still a massive threat, and now he will activate.
Aber hat doch schon gemillt mit Rhino Heart, oder nicht?
To shuffle this one back already because it would be a level 4 body on board, and he will target the Mudora as well. So he's just going to take all of the cards and shuffle them into the deck. He does not even care about it. Just take all of them.
Yep, you have 3 cards in the graveyard. Take them all and put them back into your deck.
No
and
graveyards.
Now Vincenzo.
No graveyards.
only has Hafnis in hand, right?
And he passes on the redoer. Do you want to attach now? Joshua Schmidt is not even going to be dwellered, and redoer attaches something, and it is a callback. This is not the worst that could have happened to him.
Aber wie hat er denn Modora aktiviert, wenn doch der Redoer gebandet wurde? Was ich die nächsten Videos rausbringe? Eine sehr gute Frage.
Reinhardt is,
wow.
Another Modora mill. Reinhardt was discarded for Shiren. Shiren did not hit any Tielemans names. Maybe Joshua does not have anything to discard for the Reinhardt. But then I'm wondering... No, of course he has something to discard for the Reinhardt. This cannot be Bestial, guys. Keep in mind, Reinhardt is a water monster. But he only also has a water monster to discard. And Hafnis is being chained to
Errata-Video kommt auch noch.
Let's see. What is he hitting with Hafnis? Really important here for Vincenzo.
Modora. That's another Modora. It is only a Modora. And now Joshua is absolutely with the driver's seat. There are no further interruptions for Vincenzo. Maybe a Bestial.
Yep, only the Modora he can use only once, and then the Bestial. I think we saw a Bestial in his hand, but still, that is maybe not enough here for Joshua.
I mean, he has to have something, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has a Bisty. He drew his one for turn, I'm pretty sure. With the talent, I mean. So, what is going to be the play here for Joshua Schmidt?
Ja, ähnlich, klar, nämlich dann. Das passiert auf der Arbeit nicht so oft. Wenn du das bist, dann willkommen.
Joshua, if he has enough cards in hand to actually play on after not activating this, Callback is activated.
Er hat einfach alles. Immer wenn ich wenn ich mir im Stream Joshua gucke, dann verliert er. Das ist halt schade.
Gives him the chance to use his Modora. He chains the Modora to Callback, of course trying to shuffle back the Hafnis, so no fusion summoning happening for Joshua yet, I would say, because there's still some chance for him.
Oh, and there is
Orange Light.
Herald of the Orange Light.
Ouch.
Wow, and this actually ensures that the Druid's Worm comes onto the Hafnis.
That is still an answer to the Hafnis.
Aber
Modora is just not going to shuffle back the other stuff. But the most important thing here was the Hafnis, so Druid's Worm takes care of that. Really good for Vincenzo.
Adding back the Shiren to the hand instead of banishing the Reinhardt. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Callback casually discarded to the graveyard, thinking that this is a normal hand interaction. No, Callback is just better.
Yep. And let's see what happens next. Does Joshua have the options to really go into stuff here? There's no Dark Monster in the graveyard of Vincenzo.
Gut ist mal relativ, er hat halt wirklich die Karten an.
And then go into dark.
Yes, that's what he's going for. He is running over the Hafnis, also running over the Callback with his Hafnis himself, and now there is a Dark Monster in the graveyard.
Callback summoned in attack position.
And that means that we can... Oh yeah, right, he could have not even summoned, ran over the Callback, interestingly enough. So, there is Dark being summoned.
In Starlight.
There is now Hafnis in the graveyard. Ooh.
Yeah, and he just said, I'm going to take Hafnis and go into the Sprite Sprint because Dark is a link too. He is going to send a Merly to the grave.
Really, really good stuff here from Joshua.
Kid
he can finally go into a fusion summon here in this game number 3. We haven't seen a single one so far in game number 3, but now the Merly will be resolving to actually give him access to his Kid Kalos.
And there is also a Reinhardt already in the grave. Keep in mind, he only has used Hafnis so far, so he might
Es sind aber auch nur noch 6 Minuten, das dürfen wir nicht vergessen. Ne?
First of all, the Kid Kalos, and then actually might go for the Kaleido Heart. The only thing not really going well for him is that he has used his battle phase already.
What can you do? Sometimes a little bit of a downside, but still it looks like Joshua might very well be capable here to overcome this disadvantage of going second in game number 3. It is looking nice for Joshua. Also, he's 100 life points ahead already, so we're getting closer to time, of course. 6.5 minutes left, roughly.
This attack position Callback was not it.
Not really, especially because Callback just has more defense points than attack points.
And we are summoning back the Rhino-Heart, milling, Caldo, Rhino-Heart, Callback, Callback, and another Rhino. So no Shiren hit. We have already used the effect of Rhino-Heart before.
But I mean, getting shufflers with the Caldos certainly can't hurt. So that's definitely not the worst to happen for him here. Did he trigger Callback? For a second I thought he triggered Callback, but I don't think he's going to do that either.
So he has apparently used both effects, I think. So maybe it would have actually been better to immediately send a
Er aktiviert
Chiron to the
K-Weg.
grave
Ja,
if he does not have anything to play on from this point on. To go for Kaleido Heart immediately and get rid of the Druid Swarm at least, because the Time Thief Redoer would only dodge.
Yeah, for sure. You don't want to target it. And now Mudora is going to shuffle back the Hafnis and the opponent's Mudora.
And he also has 2 cards in hand left, so there's actually quite something he can do. The only thing keeping him from popping off now is Sprite Sprint,
but
not being able to be linked away.
But he does just set 1 card afterwards, and I think that Joshua Schmidt might be done with his turn here, and yes, he's going to pass it over to Vincenzo Orofino, who now has a Druid Swarm on board, and he also has Time Thief Redoer, being able to just get another card, but he starts it all off with the Salik
immediately
here.
activated, but now I'm thinking, why did he not immediately go for Kaleido Heart?
Discarding the Chiron, special summoning the Rhino Heart back, triggering itself and the Chiron, of course. We're still in draw phase, and therefore the Time Thief Redoer hasn't done anything yet.
Yeah. I mean, it plays around a Bastille, right? Plays around the top deck Bastille.
Yep, absolutely.
So we're going for Rule Colors, and we are going to send another card.
Dann Kid Colors machen.
With Rhino Heart.
That is indeed true.
Wow, this is really intense. This is a Telemann's name, of course. We can't really see which one it is. Might be Merly.
Looks like Merly a little bit, yeah. No, it's Hafnis actually.
Yeah,
it is
Hafnis.
Okay. So, and we are taking the Rhino Heart from the field, and I think he will have to, if he wants to go for a Kaleido Heart, have to take. No, we are going for Kid Colors.
Kid Colors.
This one could actually.
Let's go.
So search for a Hafnis or something else. Now we are milling. This time the Merly and Juxtapedia? No, we are going for the Kaleido Heart.
Yes,
now he found his way
are.
into Kaleido Heart, and this one is for sure going to get rid of the Druid Swarm or trying to go for the redo.
But I mean, be aware that now that Rule Colors on board is the only interruption that he has left, because he already used the Salik, and he's now using the effect of Kaleido Heart.
Was
So
die Anti-Eruption, der hatte doch die
has
Schaffler-Brille.
found his way into something good here, he might be able to come back from here.
Darunter liegt ein Kelbeck und er hat
Might be
2
able to go for
Handkarten.
something. Also, isn't there
Eine
just a
Handkarte.
line available to Vincenzo immediately? Because he could just run over the Sprite Sprint, and then Zeus could be something.
And now we are attaching the Chiron, which would usually be bad. However, he does not have to detach the Chiron for effect.
The thing with Zeus, though, is that, yeah, he is running over the Sprite Sprint, but with Zeus, the thing is, you don't really want to send the Kid Colors.
Rule Colors and Kaleido Heart and the Salik. So all of these cards.
Ob sowas viel Sinn macht, ist so die Frage. Ne?
Indeed. But still, he is going for the Zeus, and I think it is his only play,
Aktiviert Zeus?
detaching both of his cards to then wipe the board entirely, triggering the Rule Colors, the Kaleido Heart, and the Salik. So Joshua just getting all the pluses, all the searches, all the summon backs here, and it's backing. It looks good for Joshua. It looks good.
Absolutely.
He's down on
Back
life
to
points, so
square
he has
one.
to hurry, but he's definitely not too bad here in card advantage.
So basically the only thing he did was getting rid of this Salik that was already used this turn and giving Joshua another card in hand. I don't know if Zeus did.
Fühlte sich auf jeden Fall nicht wie der richtige Player an.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot he could do. I mean, he at least
Nichts
has a
verpasst,
3K
ja.
defense body now.
Oh,
Ja.
and he activates triple tactic talents. That makes a lot of
Draw
sense.
to his strong
And he's
into
drawing
Pearl
Pearl Rhino.
He can keep on playing here, and there's only 2 minutes left on the clock, so he could keep on playing here for a while, to be honest. Let's see what Vincenzo can still do here. Joshua shaking his head. He at some point had to use a monster effect in the main phase.
Merly milling so
Kurz
good.
mal essen und
It's
kleiner
the
Weg.
Caldo, but there are still 2 interruptions in Joshua's graveyard, being Caldo and Mudora.
Yep, but looks like we are just going to resolve the effects for Vincenzo first of all. That is the Scream resolving, searching out the Salik. Now, Caldo is preemptively going to attack the shufflers of Joshua Schmidt here. There you see it with Dora and Caldo.
Imagine Freeze gegen
What else is there?
Joshua in
This
time.
is going to be quick. Caldo and Mudora are maybe going to be chained.
Also the crime. That triple tactic talents. Now I fully understand the Zeus, because that triggered the monster
Absolutely.
effects of Joshua, so he could actually use the talents. Marvelously played by Vincenzo, and he's ahead of life points. This is going to be really tight. There comes the Pearl Rhino. What? The crowd is going wild. I love it what Vincenzo is pulling off here.
Because now he can actually search for the Hafnis, and I think at this point he could just Does he just pass here? What else does
Meine
he
Lieblingskarte
No, he
ist
goes for a
Liebe.
Link 2 at this point. He can just take away the Zeus and the Merly. He can go into Sprite Sprint immediately and send a Merly from the deck to the graveyard. Then he can actually fusion summon. And both of these monsters have used their resummon effect already. He will have to negate the Merly with the Roll Colossus.
Yes, that's what is happening. He uses Roll Colors on the Merly. Vincenzo chains his Hafnis in hand, so that is still going to mill free. He mills a Talent,
Is he hitting
Magnamut.
anything? No, he's hitting the
it's just
Keldo.
a Keldo.
He is passing. There are 10 seconds on the clock, 15 in fact. Now, does he have to pass the turn onto this? Because then the Kaleido Heart can actually attack over the Sprite Sprint.
It's going to be very tight here. He's passing it over. It's Joshua's turn.
Are we going to the battle phase? Are we announcing battle phase? I think he announced the battle phase.
That is
the
going to
players
be...
are discussing. Joshua is not happy about this.
This is going to be really, really tight. It will all depend on whether we are already in the battle phase or not. And it doesn't look like
verliert einfach nur, weil einfach 2 Sekunden. Muss ja einfach nur angreifen.
So, I think we're going to have to talk about this for a little bit. So, maybe for a second we should just come back to us, because it's not really going to help.
Wenn jetzt dadurch halt verliert, ist halt einfach...
And we will just keep talking a little bit about what is going on there right now.
This is an intense situation, because it looks like there is a Salik set. We have the Hafnis in defense position.
Yes.
However, there is a Sprite Sprint in attack position. So, if we are saying that Joshua can enter the battle phase, what's going to happen here? Salik will be activated onto the Roll Colors, can possibly be activated onto the Roll Colors. Hafnis will be tributed, okay? So Hafnis will try to activate the effect. Roll Colors cannot negate that, because it is negated. And we are shuffling back some cards, summoning monster in defense position, and Pearl Rhino can pop the sprint, so he cannot take damage. So this might
there is a line for him to protect himself. Does he have any way to get rid of his own sprint? But
kannst du mal ein Yugioh zu dem anderen YouTuber machen? Vielleicht wäre das Ziel-Only. Nee, das guckt sich keiner an.
When we're not in battle phase, how this is turning out to be a loss for Vincenzo or Affinity.
Even if we go into the battle phase, I think he can summon out fusion monsters in defense position by negating the Roll Colors and popping his own sprint.
Absolutely. But it really is coming down to the final stages here. Nobody wants to go out, of course, in top 4, especially not Joshua Schmidt, who's on a back-to-back mission here in this tournament. So he really is fighting until the last moment here, of course.
And I can understand that. I would ask the judges too, like, can I have this? I'm trying to say battle phase. These situations are sometimes hard.
And of course,
aber ist jetzt trotzdem vorbei. Also Joshua ist auf jeden Fall raus.
Always a judge being at the table here in our featured match area. So there's instantly somebody that would be responsible for the situation and that has seen the whole situation. And of course, multiple thousands of people at home have also watched the situations, but the judge is responsible in the situation there specifically.
Wir hatten vor 2 Jahren ja auch mal ein Turnier gestartet. Wenn ihr fragt habt, das habt ihr offensichtlich nicht gesehen. Und das proved my point. Schade für Joshua.
And I mean, at the end of the day, it is the judge's decision. Maybe a head judge will be called.
That's what I was about to say. You always, as a player, if you get the answer from a judge, from a regular judge call, have the option to also appeal to a head judge.
Very important. Keep that in mind.
I'm pretty sure that is just happening right now. That's why we have to take a little bit of time here. The head judge is also going to have a look at the situation. I mean, we are in the final stages of tournaments, so we got to make important decisions right here. So we should get the head judges over because they are the ones that are running the tournament. They are the real important judges. I mean, every single judge in the hall is important, of course, but they are the ones having the final word for every decision that is causing debates.
Die GWL war aber auch viel casual.
Have had long days. It is a hard work. You have to be on point with your mind all the time. So if you ever meet a judge at a tournament, be respectful, guys. Even though you don't like the decisions sometimes, those decisions are hard to make for everyone.
For real, shout-outs to the judge community for running the biggest YCS we ever had in Europe. I mean, you need a lot of judges, and sometimes they even had to work extra this weekend because we had so many people. They had to run extra kilometers all weekend long. So definitely appreciate
the hard work of the judges.
I mean, we ourselves actually came from the judging community before we joined the commentary booth.
So
we know how that job feels. We know that from time to time it can be quite stressful, but
aber
it's really
ist halt schade, dass Joshua so verliert.
If you maybe want to get into judging, definitely don't be afraid.
It is
Definitely
a
apply.
really good idea. But let's go into the analysis of this game.
Sure, let's
a bit
go.
more. So, Joshua has had a draw for turn.
Yep.
Imagine you drew a bestial.
That would really
change the
good.
entire situation of this battle phase scenario, because if this was a bestial that he drew and he is
no
playing multiple
summon,
copies,
right?
there's no fusion summon, there is nothing to be popped. I mean, of course there are Caldo.
That's what I was thinking.
There's also Caldo and Mudora in his GY. So, I mean, this is a main phase scenario. You have to think about the main phase, right? Because you can actually go for Caldo and Mudora before the main phase of before the battle phase of Joshua, if you are Vincenzo, and then you would want to target both of these monsters before your opponent goes into the battle phase and then try to send the Havness. So this is a difficult scenario.
Ich bin auch für Teilmods für die Top-Matches, finde ich irgendwie, sollten die auch schaffen.
The whole can be happy that I wasn't the head judge for this event, to be honest.
That is absolutely true.
I think I'm situated quite well here in the casting booth.
Yeah.
And
I think you are, Basti.
Thank you very much, my friend. So we still have a little bit of time. And I think,
immerhin, kannst du was essen
because
noch.
I can already tell you, they are going to have a little bit deeper analysis about the situation in the back with the judges in particular. So head judge and the judges at the table are talking a little bit further about it. So I think it would be a pretty neat idea to actually go on a little break. Or what do you think, maybe?
I think that this is quite a good idea, Basti.
Yeah, I think we're going to go on to a short break, and as soon as we have news regarding all of that, we will be coming back with the live action. So just give us a couple of minutes, and then when action is resuming and when we have a decision to announce, you will hear from us.
Schade, dass mein Max so voll war. Ich bin straight, U-Bahn rein, raus, los. Ich war sofort weg. Ich hatte 2 Minuten von der U-Bahn bis zur S-Bahn und bin dann direkt losgerannt. Boah, das war echt stressig. Joshua wird so Salz sein, nichts mehr im Stream. Also für alle, die jetzt nicht wissen, was hier gerade abläuft. Joshua ist am Zug, zieht eine Karte, sagt Draw, Standby, Main, Battle Phase, weil er angreifen will. Und während er quasi das gesagt hat, hat er quasi, du kannst nicht in die Battle Phase gehen, der geht immer zustimmen. Ja. Und jetzt sagt er, jetzt klären wir darüber, ob er in die Battle Phase gehen kann. Auch nicht schlecht. Dann gucken wir doch mal, was die Bisher-Karten gehen. Wenn wir gerade schon dabei sind, ne? Bisher. Weil die werden ja wahrscheinlich immer weiter steigen. Danke, Kartenmarket. Bisher. Werden die gerade dabei sind, gucken wir mal. Der hat ihn nicht in Battlephase gehen lassen, weil der Gegner theoretisch ja noch Effekte aktivieren könnte in der Mainphase und es bis beide Spieler zustimmen, in die nächste Phase überzugehen. Kostet einfach 15 €, Digga. Kannst du keinem erzählen, sowas. Guck mal da an. Ich weiß nicht, wie die Sachen im Magic funktionieren, aber ich finde das halt ein bisschen witzlos irgendwie. Weil es immer so durch Haben so entschieden wird. So. Also ich finde immer, wenn du halt, der Gegner ist am Zug und du machst halt irgendeine Effekte, die live uns gibt, so, und dann weiß ich schon, okay, das kann ich halt nicht mehr aufholen. Das finde ich vollkommen fein. Aber wenn du quasi deinen Zug nicht mal, du musst eigentlich nur die Battlephase geben, um zu gewinnen, und du kommst nicht mehr hin, das ist richtig, das finde ich halt, keine Ahnung. Und Kali-Effekt ist gerade hier im YouTube-Chat drin. Also nicht bei mir, sondern hier bei YCS. Und redet sich gerade auch ein bisschen über Teil auf. Das ist irgendwie witzig. Die Musik ist schon geil. Ich soll mal zur Musik grooven. Ich groove da zur Musik. Meine Katze tanzt auch schon. Ich wäre bei Top 4 mit alten Tier. Check nicht. I will time rule for game. Any response. Finde ich auch gut. Ich bin auch, wenn ich mir das so angucke, jetzt ist hier halt der Chat gerade hier, dass Joshua schon ziemlich zügig gespielt hat. Und der Gegner halt schon relativ lange gebraucht hat. 5 extra Züge. Nein, Digga, Alter, als ich wieder so ein Turnier gehen würde. Der Grund, warum wir diese Time-Regeln gemacht haben, ist ja, damit das halt nicht so lange geht. So, überleg mal, du kriegst in Yugi 5 weitere Züge. Am Ende des Tages ist es halt so, ich finde halt, du solltest die Möglichkeit haben, in deinem Zug in die Battlephase gehen zu dürfen. Aber es könnte sich dem Vorteil geben, der quasi einfach abgibt und ist der andere dran. Das ist halt schwierig. Also dann den richtigen Mittelweg zu finden, ist halt wirklich schwierig. Aber ich finde es gerade für so Feature-Matches und den Top-Cut ein bisschen doof. Jetzt haben wir bis 11:30, ja. Ja, er hat gedrawt, hätte eine Battlephase gehen müssen und hätte über Sprint angreifen müssen, um halt Game zu kriegen. Ja, und ja. Aber sein Gegner hat halt noch Karten auf dem Feld gehabt, die hätten theoretisch halt was aktivieren können. Und von daher, ja, ist halt ein bisschen schade. Ich finde es halt, also wenn man jetzt rausfliegt, weil man halt irgendwie nicht gut gespielt hat oder sowas, aber Joshua hat es tatsächlich besser gespielt und schnell gespielt. Also er hat es ganz normal gespielt, durchgespielt und halt auch keinen wirklich Missplay gemacht. Den einzigen Missplay, glaube ich, war wirklich halt auf Normal Summon von Dora in Game 1 nicht Scream zu aktivieren. Activate Thermod, ja. Das ist gerade das Top 4 Match. Scheint es aber auch gleich weiterzugehen. Ne, einfach nur Musik aufgehört, schade. The Kelbeck is still in the wrong graveyard. Wir hatten früher mal so, dass wir noch 3 Züge gespielt haben. Also ein Zug von dir, dann vom Gegner und dann noch einen von dir. Das hat aber zu lange gedauert. Weil überleg mal, wenn jetzt ein Combo in der Mainphase 10-15 Minuten geht. Weil erst mit 2 extra Zügen ist halt der theoretisch der benachteiligt, der halt den ersten Zug hat. Weil der kann ja dann. Keine Ahnung, das ist irgendwie schwierig. Ich finde halt dieses mit dem die Phase beenden, finde ich ja irgendwie schwachsinnig. Ich finde halt wirklich, wenn die sagen, so, okay, bis zur Battlephase. Ja, also spiel den Zug zu Ende oder so ein Scheiß. Wir gucken uns weiter die Memes von Festina an.
He has a Link 2 monster to use to make it.
Ich werde auf einem anderen Bildschirm gucken, wann es da weitergeht.
Ah, now something has been special summoned. We've got a Kelbeck, Chain Vistial,
Wow, the Bestial's effect can banish the Merly to stop its effect from resolving.
Oh,
and then the Kelvec can bounce the Sprint to the hand.
Wow.
Ja, ja, Trickster.
Again, the appeal is over, so we have a decision,
Da ist die
and we can
Entscheidung.
fully explain you the situation again. You know what the discussion was about. Was Yugioh Schmidt able to enter his battle phase? Because he basically just drew for turn and then wanted to go into the battle phase as quickly as possible, but there were some actions that Vincenzo could perform, so the actual appeal decision was...
There were only 2 seconds on the clock when Joshua drew his card, so Vincenzo was allowed to make a play and Joshua will not enter the battle phase, so the game ends in the draw or the standby phase. I don't really know which one it is, but Vincenzo Orofino enters the finale of the YCS Dortmund 2000.
Richtig räudig.
Vincenzo Orofino plays for
Ich habe nicht im Main Event mitgespielt.
Very good run again by Joshua Schmidt, ending up here in top 4. I mean, this guy, he was in top 8 in Antwerpen. He was in Utrecht, of course, our winner.
The winner,
and now he's in top 4. He's crossing all the stages, you know? Finals, top 4, top 8.
Ja,
he
richtig
really
krass.
is doing it all.
What's he gonna do next? Top 16?
Wow, that would be so fantastic for him, I would say, yeah. But
Wenn
that
nicht,
is
richtig
the
gewinnen, Digga.
decision. So Vincenzo Orofino, definitely deserved winner and definitely one of the deserved finalists for this. I'm really hyped to see who he's going to face, because it's either going to be versus his Italian friend in a match versus Fluander Rees, or he's going to play Enrico's back and his Ishizu Tillman strategy for a mirror match.
Yeah, we don't know that yet.
That is absolutely
Well,
true.
we have seen both players wander around the venue here, and both of them looked really happy. I mean, it is a big accomplishment to get top 4 on a YCS, so I wouldn't be too sad if I lost that one as well, even though you want to win, but we have no idea who won.
That is indeed true. Yeah, but I think we can say some last words for ourselves, because those will be our last moments in the casting booth. It was a long weekend.
And YCS Dortmund.
Yep, it was a long weekend for us. But at the end of the day, and this is the end of our working day, we are still just 2 guys that love Yu-Gi-Oh! And we enjoyed every single second of it. We were really having the time of our life once again. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for...
It was a pleasure, as always, my friend.
Thank you for being with me. And it really, really was such a fun time once more. And I cannot wait to sit down in the viewers area to just watch the final as a spectator, to be honest.
Actually, we should get us some seats saved, because they are free right now. So we are going to a little break, give the players some time to breathe through, and you will see the finals soon.
Ja, gleich Finals. Ich würde sagen, ich werde kurz aber für Schluss schnappen, bevor ich die Sache esse. Und dann gucken wir gleich mal ein bisschen Finale ohne Joshua. Unglaublich, dass er das so verloren hat. Das ist halt sehr, sehr schade. Bis gleich. wir nix. Hat Machtplus gehabt, er kam zusätzlich zu seinem Match. Zu spät, lol. Zeitregeln sind echt kacke, vor allem in den Top 4. Ich finde in den Tops generell, dass sie halt, weiß nicht, bis zum Ende zugespielt sollten, so ein Scheiß. Wir gucken einfach zwischendurch einfach die Yata-Videos. Sage ich und direkt geht's weiter.
And welcome back. You're joining us for more coverage here at YCS Dortmund 2022. Nearing the end of our event, which is always very exciting. But because we still have some unfinished business between the commentators, we have another quiz. You guys have seen the quickfire one. We've done 3 different styles of quiz. Traditional quiz, expert quiz, and of course, our quickfire tennis style quiz.
Stream mein Stream, wenn du willst.
That's a good point. I forgot. We're meant to go through who won the quiz points. So, do we do that now? We're going to do that right now. Remember, we have the specialist quiz. We're going to go one by one. So, Marcello, you had 5 points.
5 points.
Alberto, you had 3 points. Basti, you had
Also stream, wenn du zuguckst, stream gerne. Ne? Und schick mir mal irgendwie Link oder so rein. Mal gucken, was du machst.
In third place was Alberto. Joint second were Marcello and Basti, which means the winner of the Oracle of the Yugiverse goes to Leonard Koenig. Yes. How do you feel, Leonard? How does it feel?
Ist halt
Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad, for all the Yu-Gi-Oh knowledge you gave me. This is the best moment of my entire life. Thank you.
How many did he guess right? How many?
7. He had a total of 7 points, which is all you needed to win. So that's what it comes down to. So that means Leonard is
auch keine
Oracle of the Yugiverse. Currently, the Germans are winning in the quickfire quiz question card game quiz questionnaire. And so we're going to see what happens here. I have a tiebreaker because obviously whoever wins this round, if you guys win, then it's 1 apiece. So I'll need the tiebreaker question. So are we ready? Are we ready to do some quickfire quizzing? Remember, we need to do a quick rock, paper, scissors to see who starts. So gentlemen, are they ready? 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, go. No one wants to give up. No one wants to give up. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, the Italians get to start. Now, we need to make sure that we have our adjudicator so that we are ready with this. As long as we've got our adjudicator, we can start this.
Wir können ja mal ein paar Mies machen. So. Teil 1, Yugioh 0. Mach mal, bin gespannt. Hau mal ein paar Mies raus. Also Yoshi hat das Game verloren, weil sein Gegner noch Aktionen machen durfte. Es waren nur noch 2 Sekunden. Er durfte also nicht mehr in die Battleface.
Kid Carlos.
Swap Frog.
Wait, Swap Frog? Swap Frog's not water? Oh, Kid Carlos is not water? Did you say Kid Carlos? Oh no. Okay, so the Italians get their first point there.
Crazy.
A small braver. My brain turned off and I went, yep, that's definitely a water monster. Already got a point. Mate, yeah, you're done. That's you. Yeah. Guys, a round of applause to Alberto finally scoring himself a point against the ropes. This is the kind of thing we like to see. But now you're going to start this one, guys. Name a card that inflicts effect damage.
Du hast einen Ulti-Dueller da, die du nicht verkauft. Schade. Ich habe einen.
Red Resonator.
No, it doesn't. Against.
Also bei Yoshi ist es so gewesen. Also sein Gegner hat seinen Trip beendet. Er hatte noch 2 Sekunden auf Uhr, ist in Drawface, zieht eine Karte und sagt Battleface. Und sein Gegner hatte noch Aktionen, die er machen konnte und deshalb konnte er nicht in die Battleface gehen.
And then it comes down to the tiebreaker. So yeah, let's see what happens. So I'm going to start this one with you. Quite a fun one, this one, I think. Name a structure deck that was released in the TCG. Go.
Starter deck Yugi.
Is that a structure deck? Yeah. Rocket Revolt.
Starter deck Kaiba.
Starter deck Joey.
Starter deck Pegasus.
Soul Burner.
This Dark War structure deck.
That's not released in the TCG.
Well, yeah. The previous one.
What's your name?
This guy.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a point for the Germans there. It could go either way at this point. Right, are we ready?
Schon funny sowas.
So, it's your turn to start. Name Toon monsters. Go.
Toon, Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Toon.
T-O-O-N.
Ah, Toon. Okay. Toon. What did you say?
Blue Eyes.
Okay. Toon Gemini Elf.
Toon Ancient Gear Golem.
Toon Cyber Dragon.
Toon Blackluster Soldier.
Toon Dark Magician.
I didn't say? Okay, Toon Red Eyes Dark Dragon. Red Eyes Black Dragon.
Okay. Toon Mermaid Arches.
Toon Masked Sorcerer.
Toon Goblin Elite Attack Force.
Toon Harpy.
Toon Summon Skull.
Toon...
Time! Okay, so that means the Italians have won this round because they managed to get 3 out of 5. So that means Germany 1, Italy 1. So because this is going to be the last, one of the last times we're all together before the big final moment of the tournament, I'm going to have to put it down to a tiebreaker. Ooh, can you feel the tension in the room?
Ich mag die Interview,
So,
wo er ist.
I want both teams to nominate the one person that's going to take part in this round. So you can have your advantage. Who wants to do it? Whoa, almost dropped the card with the question. I would have given it away. I would do it. Yeah, Basti's going to do it against Marcello. Alberto, are you going to do it? Okay, if you're sure you self-nominated yourself, that's what we believe, self-belief. Here we go. Right. Your redemption arc begins now, Alberto. Right, guys, your tiebreaker question. Whoever gets this wins this quiz and therefore wins YCS Dortmund. Name a card with blue in its name.
Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Toon Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Alberto, no.
Ultimate Eyes Black Dragon.
That doesn't have the word blue in it.
Ultimate Eyes. What? Ultimate Eyes Blue. Ah, right, that's right. No, it's right. No, it doesn't have blue. Because it's Ultimate Eyes Black. No, it doesn't have it. Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, okay.
To add some tension, I'll allow it. Go. Yeah, we have to stick with the same archetype for this one.
Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon.
Blue Whale.
Blue Whale? Is that allowed?
What is the Blue Whale?
It took a second to process that, and I went, Blue Whale? There's no card. Our adjudicator has raised the thumb like a gladiator, and that's a no. Like a Roman emperor. Sprite Blue, I wanted to say it, but I'm the quizmaster. I'm not allowed to go, you know, one we've seen a lot this weekend and at other tournaments. Well, that means the Germans have
Sprite
won
Blue, yeah.
yet again
Strong.
at the quick fire questionnaire quiz.
Da kommt auch ein Video von Maurice zu so einer Art von Content. Da hat Niska auch ganz schön reingeschissen, das war an sich witzig.
Because the Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series of Dortmund
Bluetooth
is
Whale
not yet
Challenge.
over. So stick around because there's plenty more coming your way before we come to the end of our night. Stick around.
So, Type für Yata Memes. Let's go.
Sharon? Effect resolves. Going to discard Keldo. That's going to send 3 cards to the graveyard. Grapekeeper's Trap, Diviner the Herald, and Sharon.
Oh my god.
Shows him his hand. 3 copies of Rainbow Bridge and the turtle.
That is not good. That is extremely unfortunate from Dominic Couch. Dominic does get that opportunity to predict the draw.
Yeah.
Ah, jo,
And
das
then
hab ich
he
schon
gets
gesehen.
to shuffle his hand. So it is that top card on his hand. So if he wants to call and just reveal that top card, easy solution to the situation.
I wish I had heard what card he named.
He didn't get a chance to name anything yet.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think he's actually declared a card
Ich
name.
glaube, er callt Allure of
They're just trying to
Darkness, glaube
figure
ich.
out, like, if he can declare the card name since the card was already drawn. But I am 99.9% sure Robin didn't shuffle his hand. You saw that it was the Allure of Darkness that he draws, right?
Yes, I'm fairly confident it was an Allure of Darkness.
Yeah, and it's sitting there on top of his hand, I believe.
He said Allure of Darkness. It is
Er hat wirklich halt Allure of Darkness geholt. Strong, ey. Richtig strong.
It is Allure of Darkness.
It's a 3-up for the deck with a high impact.
Called it.
Richtig, richtig strong.
Literally called it.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no.
Hey there, Sky Striker players. My name's Chris Hansen. Why don't you have a seat?
The one. Das ist dazu. Da gucken wir auf jeden Fall noch mal rein. Hier right back. Kurz reingucken. Stories können wir auch wegmachen hier. Dann gucken wir uns einmal Day 2 an. The 5 pieces are real. Let's go.
One Piece! The One Piece is real!
Real. Funny as hell.
Can we get much higher? So high.
Wow, that's illegal.
Can we get much higher? So
The Tier 0 is real.
Unfortunately, before this match started, there was a deck check and resulted in a decklist error, I believe.
Yes. So what happened in this case, and this is something that you should watch out for at home, if you are registering online and registering your deck list online, there are many cards that have very similar names, and oftentimes you begin with the same word. Bottomless, for instance, could be bottomless trap hole, bottomless shifting sand. In this case, the card in question was Yugioh. Not Yugioh, the Ancient Sentinel, which is the card that just came out and the card that Sean wanted to play. He instead simply wrote down Yugioh. And that is not a card that you want to play unless you like to roll a six-sided die and special summon a fairy from your graveyard whose level equals the result. So as a result, he got a game loss for game 1. It's just a matter of just so many things happening all at once.
Oh my gosh, Marcus continues the trend of just setting cards to his back row and passing.
This is not the tier limits I know. 2 monsters with the same attribute but different types. That makes Mud Dragon. And you do have the Demise of the Land.
I don't know what Marcus is going to grab
Mine?
here.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, yes, we do. We know what it is.
Well, if he has something better, that won't be as useless.
Oh, heartbeat.
It's a dangerous game trying to rely on Mystic Mind to win, because if your opponent has anything, you lose quite quickly.
Here we go again, caught in another Mystic Mind. Feels like I'm falling behind.
Mystic Mind war das. Leute feiern die Karte. Also, es ist einfach Meme geworden, richtig krass. Danke dir. Ja, der wollte unbedingt auf jeden Fall die Karte resolven, sagen wir es mal so.
And I think my opponent might be stalling for time. Yeah, I'm losing my mind. Yeah, I'm losing my mind.
But that's kind of how the point of all these Ishizu cards is, right?
Summons
Because
Merly.
both players need to have 15 cards in their graveyard now for Exchange of the Spirit. You use the Kelbeck and
Oh mein Gott.
Kitlo as follows. He's going to send special summon Merly, and it's 5 for Kit Kalos, 3 for Merly. Sheeran, Rhino Heart, and that might be a Scream.
Ah, jetzt haben wir einfach mal 2 Impact resolved. Aus Strong.
He'll start by summoning Keldo, discarding Kelbeck from his hand.
A Chains Shifter.
Oh, brutal.
Chains Shifter. All those cards gone.
I don't know if you know already what you will be facing in the future rounds, but what are you hoping to face?
I'm hoping to face Striker, because I think that's the best deck, but I'm pretty sure I'm just seeing Tier.
And with that, how do you like your chances of winning this whole tournament and taking first place now that you're in the top 4?
Pretty sure it's 0, but we'll try.
Er ist wenigstens aber ehrlicher Typ. Oh, Darklaw. der Flex einfach.
There's a jet, a beaver. Couldn't tell what the other two were. Jesse's going to send Tournament Happiness to the graveyard with Rhinoheart's effect.
If there is, in fact, a Bestial,
we'll see it here.
We will likely see it.
Nope.
Oh, Skullmeister!
A card that has gotten popular this weekend for this kind of exact scenario, where you get to use it and just to stop that one fusion effect.
Not quite as good as a Bestial here, but definitely gets the job done. He's not even keeping the Beaver. I think I saw blue in his hand, which currently can't even special summon because the Beaver is
Hello, Magier.
We know he has an Angler, which is not doing anything for him, and that's it. Jesse Cotton wins the match and advances to the finals once again.
Save Martha! Why did you say that name?
Guckt das Finale, bevor ich mir sage, gucken. Ani, Jesse. Final best moments. Let's go.
There will be 65 minutes in the finals, so you won't have to worry about time here in this match. Just because you have more time doesn't mean you can play any slower, though. And now on a new chain, he's going to activate Sharon. But honey, it does have Bestial Magnum.
Oh, but in response, it's Herald of Orange Light pitching a Yugioh, the Ancient Sentinel.
And Hani has his own Herald with discarding Diviner. Not going to get any extra value there, but it could be key here in stopping Jesse's turn. All right, now it is Hani's turn.
Oh,
I see an ultimate rare.
Yeah, I see a terraforming and an instant fusion over there.
Jesse doesn't want to even give Hani the satisfaction of playing his turn. Doesn't want him to even learn anything besides, you know what, I just have this Merly. It's not going to be enough.
It's not going to be enough.
Strong.
It's going to reveal Havness.
Havness.
Not Herald of Orange Light.
Taya is das, by the way.
Probably not going to be enough.
Komm, hier.
Merly and a Gamma.
Ja, Taya pussy sofort. Easy clap.
All right. And now Scream is going to activate in a new chain. And hit all the tier limits.
Okay.
Like, actually all of them.
all three of the Fusion Summoning ones. That is pretty crazy. And Hani's like, okay.
Yeah.
If he didn't have good luck in that first game on his mills, that makes up for it there in game number 2 for Jesse.
Yeah.
Strong.
Now it's up to Jesse if he wants to trigger his Yugioh or Kelbeck. He could have both players mill another 10 right here, right now.
That seems awfully risky to go 10. I think he might go 5.
2, 3, 4.
Nope. 2, 3, 4. We're going to see 10 more from each player. Let's do it big. This is game number 3. Let's do it. This is still Hani's first turn.
Yosh got verloren.
This is the first turn of the duel.
It may look like Hani's trying to break the board, but that is not the case. Looks like he's going to detach the Rhinoheart for Bistballer to use this effect right now.
Triple attack. It's Talon.
He's going to take the Mud Dragon, synchro with Diviner of the Herald, a level 6 monster for Baron DeFleur. He's going to use Baron's effect to destroy Kaleidoheart.
And now he's warp speed, now that he knows that all the stuff's going to work.
Strong, einfach strong.
Two monsters with same attributes and different types.
That's so good. After that play. That play is really good. Now I get the leather and then I keep one kit on back.
Baron, Abyss Dweller. A Wombo combo here for Hani. Using his Dweller again. Set the Soliek.
Einfach strong sowas.
Draw phase activates Abyss
Erstes
Dweller.
Pokémon Meister.
Goes to battle phase, attack.
Random, aber cool.
So Rhinoheart.
He's going to activate.
Aber ich scheine wieder zurück zu sein.
Ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
Oder zeig es einfach nochmal.
The rocks again. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Paper again. Okay. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, right. The Germans will be starting. Remember, you guys can confer. So I'll be asking it to you first. If you can't answer it, it'll be passed over to you. Question 1. What is the name of the monster in the artwork of the card Infinite Impermanence?
Cyber Dragon Infinity.
Cyber Dragon Infinity.
Very good. A nice easy one to kick off with, and another easy one for you guys. Question 1 for you. Which normal monster has this card text? What this creature lacks in size, it makes up for in defense when battling in the prairie.
It's easy, huh? Very easy, yeah.
We'll see what people think. This is a classic card that many of you from the anime will recognize.
Giant Soldier of Stone oder so.
Classic. Do you know the answer? Okay.
Oder
the
Sage oder
Germans
sowas.
definitely know the answer, so let's see what happens
Sage kann es
here.
nicht sein.
Do the Italians know? We're about to find out. I get a feeling that they have no idea. Right.
We're thinking about 2000 defense giant soldier, but it must not be that.
Yeah, made of stone.
No.
I'm afraid not. So I'm going to pass this over to the Germans.
This is Beaver Warrior.
Correct. It is
Beaver Warrior.
a classic
Crazy.
original Yu-Gi-Oh anime series card that we've seen.
Soll ich gleich ein Foto von meinem Briefkasten machen? Ist der immer noch leer oder was? Echt jetzt?
So
Kann
that
nicht
means we go
sein,
back to
Mann.
you guys for the third question. 2 points to you, no points to you. It's okay. You can still pull it back. Don't worry. Which 2 items are featured on the card Dispel? Now, you guys remember?
Schloss und Schlüssel.
Yep, Dispel. You guys know this one. There's a little bit of steam, a little bit of purple smoke coming out of what? Well, we know the answer, and you guys at home know the answer. But do they know the answer when they're being put on the spot? We're about to find out. Now, the Italians seem like they may or may not know. But bear in mind, if these guys get more than 3, it's all over for the Italians. Right, Germans, what is your answer?
We'll go with can and key.
Can and key. I'm afraid I can't accept that, so I'm going to hand this over to you guys. What is your answer?
For me, it's lock. I mean, we have different. Marcello has a different idea, but I will go with lock and key.
Correct! So that is 1 point to the Italians, and that's still 2 points to you guys. So it's now your guys' turn. Slightly harder question. See if you can recognize this one. Who is being mistakenly arrested on the card Mistaken Arrest?
Okay.
You have to picture the card in your mind. It's like one of those ones like Tour Guide of the Underworld that has other cards in it. But can you remember what that card is?
Ich habe die Frage nicht
What
gehört.
is that little bit of artwork that's featuring on there?
Sangan.
Is correct. So that means we're at 2 apiece. This is exciting, genuine tension. This is always good.
Lock
Keeps
and
things
key.
moving. So 2 apiece, which means now we come over to you for your question. Question 5. How many goblins appear on the artwork of the card Goblin Attack Force?
5 müssten
Now
es
this
sein.
card throws me back to some of the old Game Boy Advance games. Used to see it a lot. I can still picture it now. And Torrential Tribute and all those other things. The summoning of Torrential Tribute still gives me PTSD to this day. Basti, what are we thinking?
We believe it's 8.
It is indeed 8. So that means it's 3 apiece. So you guys have to get this right to tie. If you don't, it passes over to them and they may take it to win. So the final question, potentially,
Let's go.
maybe, almost probably, certainly not at this point, is
6, aber ich bin nicht schwanger.
is Magical Scientist's hair? Gotta think about it. Gotta think
Grau.
about it.
Grau, ne, lila ist das. Das müsste lila
This is
sein.
the moment. If I didn't have the answer written down, I'm not entirely certain I would know this off the top of my head. But luckily, I don't have to. Because
Ja,
I'm the
müsste lila sein.
quizmaster. I have all of this stuff written down. So ultimately,
Ja,
it
es
doesn't
ist,
matter.
das ist auf jeden Fall eine Farbe. Es
So what
müsste
do
lila
they
sein. Also
think
entweder
it
lila
is?
oder grau. Aber ich müsste
What
lila sein.
color is Magical Scientist's hair? There's some intensity going on here. There's some hand gestures, some Italian hand gestures. Okay, Alberto, Marcello, what is your answer?
Green.
I'm afraid that is incorrect. So I'm going to pass this over to the Germans. Basti, what is your team's answer? Blue.
Also incorrect.
Is incorrect. It's purple. So that means we have to go to a tiebreaker question, which I don't have written down. No, do you? No, it's a tiebreaker. You guys had 3 apiece. I thought you had 3. Oh no, I suppose you're right. You technically win. Yeah, you win. You want to hear the question? No, it's too late. You want the tiebreaker? Fine. We're generating some tension here. I'm going to pull up a fresh question right now. That's how fresh this is.
Ist grau eine Farbe?
Okay.
Ja, bestimmt.
Now, which one to go for?
Schwarz ist aber auch eine Farbe.
Okay, so your question is, which monster has the following card text? A wicked dragon that taps into the dark forces to execute a powerful attack. Ooh, these are good.
Alexander Dragon.
These are good classics. We've slightly messed up on terms of things. Okay.
Leo thinks he knows. Red Eyes Black Dragon.
It's incorrect. Would you like to hear it one more
Das
time?
heißt Commodore Dragon oder so.
A wicked dragon that taps into dark forces to execute a powerful attack. We're going to find out if they know the answer, or I may have to generate another question. It's a good thing I got this phone out, I'll tell you that. Otherwise, we may have had a problem.
Auch nicht schlecht, ja. Kannst du mal fragen auf jeden
It
Fall.
seems that we may have been able to get things going.
We're going to go for Curse of Dragon.
Is correct!
Crazy.
The Italians got it. Curse of Dragon. It was the classic Yugi card. That was all you.
My first ever pulled card in my first pack ever.
Well, there we go. Marcello takes it there for the Italians. We'll call that a tiebreaker. Possibly slightly unfair on you guys, but you've had your wins today. So we'll give this to the Italians. Congratulations, guys. Don't go anywhere because I think we've got ourselves another feature match coming right up.
Weird. Another feature mit. Das ist das Finale jetzt, Digga. Okay. Pasadena. Let's go.
Silly here. Jesse finally used his crime, which has been there for who knows how long.
And did
the whole game.
Honey, not happy. There's some claps for that.
So that's fine there. He did, in fact, send the monster. Just a little out of work. Not a cost. Divine Wrath is a cost. This is not. So these two are becoming Dark the Dark Charmer. Oh, but his last card is Magnamut!
That's exactly what he needed. It's a monster on the board. It's going to give him another monster. All he needs is damage right now. What a top deck.
Man.
What a top deck.
He slammed that thing on the table.
Have it. That's it. Ruby summon, threw his worm, effects it, and
Crazy. Das Finale kommt jetzt. Ist fast soweit.
Unreal. Honey can't even believe it. Going into the crowd. Everyone's so excited for their friend Honey. See Chris belong down there getting excited. He was able to get his fit win here.
GG.
His first individual YCS win.
In America.
Oh mein Gott. Ja, sagen wir mal, was hier passiert. Also ich bin wirklich schon, ob wir jetzt wirklich das Ishizu Mirror im Finale haben oder ob wir wirklich halt den Flandern-Spieler im Finale wieder sehen werden. Was glaubt ihr, hat der Flandern-Spieler geschafft oder sehen wir jetzt Ishizu Mirror? Ich sag, wir sehen Ishizu Mirror. Das halte ich für deutlich wahrscheinlicher. Meint der Magnamut ist schon gestiegen? Gucken wir mal. Ja, immer noch 15 €, also ne? Gönnt euch, gönnt euch. Aus Darkwing Blast. Was geht der Fenrir? Der wird ja dieses Wochenende kaum gespielt. Haben wir ihn hier. Die Duell wahrscheinlich auch wieder ein bisschen günstiger, weil er auch kaum gespielt wird. Ja, auf 46 runter, so ein bisschen runtergegangen. Auf jeden Fall ganz nice. Seht ihr jetzt zwar nicht, aber glaubt mir. Da, der Fenrir ist auch hart gedroppt. Ja. Crow, ich danke schon mal dafür. Aber die Karten wurden halt aktuell nicht so viel gespielt, das heißt, dass die Karten günstiger werden, das ist erstmal klar. Genauso wie Cartesia. Und Magnamut ist halt wild. Aber es scheint weiterzugehen. Der Flander-Spieler hat es echt geschafft im Finale. Holy shit! Flander versus Tier.
In the YCS Dortmund finals, and
Mit 2 Italienern.
going to be a
Lach mich
duel
tot,
to
ey.
remember. We have Mario Argiro versus Vincenzo Orofino, and this is going to be one to remember. It's all come down to this. 2,580 duelists all taking part, working their way through 12 rounds of Swiss, working their way through a top 64 cut, all the way to this moment right here between these two exceptional duelists. So let's not waste any more time. Whoever wins this is going to be taking home.
Ich glaube nicht, dass man die kennt. Also ich kenne sie nicht zumindest.
Gentlemen, can we please do a high roll to see who is going to be going
Ich hoffe, dass ich nicht das Flander-Spiel gewinne. Ich hoffe, dass die Tier-Spieler gewinnt, damit halt die Karten eher gebannt werden.
Mario has rolled A3. Vincenzo, you going to go first? Vincenzo is going to go first. So, with that being said, I'm going to hand you over to our wonderful Italian commentators for the last time today, the last match that we're going to be doing for you, presenting you with this coverage. So let me say it now. My friends, it's time to duel.
It's time to duel. Ich finde es aber faszinierend, dass die trotzdem im Finale...
Welcome to Italy, and it's all about Italy in this final, baby.
Ja. Und also ich finde es halt cool, faszinierend, dass sie trotzdem diese Top-Cut-Sleeves bekommen haben.
This is Italy, we just conquered Germany and YCS Dortmund, and what a final. We have the privilege to commentate for you guys, Mario against Vincenzo. We cannot be more proud than this. What a final show-off between two of the best Italian players around. And not only that,
Tier Britain Thunder killed erst in time. Bin gespannt.
Among all odds, maybe you bring this bad luck to the table
wir nicht glatt 50 machen?
Against Ishizu Tier Elements. The deck that was represented at 72% in the final still has a chance to be eliminated, just like it was at YCS Minneapolis, the final once again. Will it be able to win this time for Flowanderies, or is it gonna be once again the Tier Elements? Honestly, without further ado, I don't want to waste time talking about their decks. Let's go to the table and find out the winner of Game 1.
Let's go! Finale! Final. Game 1. Nochmal dieselbe Animation, nur mit einem anderen Text. Klingt gut. Ja. Oh, wie schön dramatisch die reingefahren sind. Hier für Jan mit Final-Musik. Vincenzo fängt an. Natürlich jetzt kein gutes Showing für Thunder, wenn er anfangen kann. Und direkt mit Perl rein und starten, das sollte schon mal strong.
And start things well right here. Let's see if there will be a dimension shifter from Mario. We've all been waiting for this moment, and it's just this one final
Die Musik so richtig dramatisch.
Wann
geht's los? Jetzt geht's los.
Joshua and Dinka already had the YCS win under their belt. For one of these guys, it will be a first-time YCS champion. Nonetheless, let's see who will bring the trophy back to Italy. And there we start. We do not see the shifter.
Kein Shifter.
No shifter here from Mario, and Vincenzo is going to mill 3 Kelbeck and the Mudora.
The Kelbeck as well.
Good stuff. Now extra 5.
And the barrier as well from
Eine Statue weg. Spielt jetzt 2 Statuen.
Wow, with double Scream and Rhino. What a start from Vincenzo.
Man kann sicher das Finale starten auf jeden Fall.
Good stuff from him now is going to Fusion Summon.
Ne, Mario haben wir vorhin schon gesehen. Also wir haben beide schon im Feature gesehen.
As you mentioned, the statue being milled by Mario, I think it's super relevant as we saw.
Absolutely, you only play one of them and it's almost impossible to get it back to your deck, which means Vincenzo will now have a huge chance to use some of these effects and he knows a little bit of his opponent deck list. He knows that
Ich glaube, der Italiener gewinnt.
there are no more
Ich würde wahrscheinlich dazu stimmen, dass der Italiener es sehr wahrscheinlich schaffen wird, ja.
Let's take a look at his deck list. What is he playing? We know that he tested with another player, El Pengue, who is again one of his testing partners for the event. Unfortunately missed out in the final rounds, but he does have the Crime in the main deck, which is super relevant alongside Arbit and Suliek. And this means
Crime is a counter trap,
all
das ist
of
schon
them
richtig.
going first, and this is probably what we are gonna see here.
I think it makes sense, especially because he knows Mario is playing Necro Valley along with the set rotation. Good stuff here from Vincenzo.
Great setup, as you mentioned. He's able to get both trap cards right away, which is huge. And yeah, here even more mills. You can see Mario smiling a little bit. What is it gonna be? Really looking forward to get Aguido and any of the other names. It's really well, but no Aguido at the very end. But he will be able to get to all of these free fusion summons this turn. Huge start.
Das ist still have yours Kartendeck.
Well, I think with this setup already, you cannot complain at all. Now he's going for another fusion summon. We'll soon see in the Drago Stapelia being summoned. Here it is.
Absolutely gonna boot up one of the best cards for this matchup. He knows what he's up against, of course. And to be honest, you're also happy to see that he milled Mystic Mine and Dark Ruler. There are a few cards that you don't have to worry about at the moment. But yeah, Stapelia just so strong against Flow Wonder is for a variety of reasons.
Auf jeden Fall.
And here we
Starker
have
Anfang.
to actually consider what to do. Mario might just
Ja, 11.
cut his deck because he's gonna draw into the Garura. And yeah, he does so, looking for probably the Heartbeat.
Dann draw
one
one.
of the cards he's looking for, but let's see what he goes for.
Aber du musst ja irgendeinen Weg finden, den Dweller, Dweller brauchst du ja mal Baruska, wäre vielleicht eine ganz schlechte Idee.
Taking his time, and it does open up with the Saronir. He is playing, by the way, all 9 copies of the Bestials in the main deck. Makes a lot of sense why he was able to defeat this many mirror matches and make it all the way to the finals.
Yeah, I think he's one of the few players actually who went for the full Bestial package and side decking the
Aber Bachdeck Season kriegt nicht den Draw One.
So
das geht für Beatrice.
Which was not super popular this weekend, but super paying off.
Make a lot of sense. It was the same as what I was saying. I also liked with 9 Bestials and the Ghost Spells, at least in the side deck, and I think it's paying off really well. And now Vincenzo going for the Beatrice.
Die einfach leuchtet.
A few amount of useful cards from your deck, especially with this matchup, and this you can see is a pretty good start against the deck from Mario, trying to play around as many cards as possible and still ending up with a draw on top of them all. Great stuff by Vincenzo.
Er kriegt keinen, also er kriegt einen Draw, klar, muss ich noch
gets to
gehen.
send them early with the Beatrice, and I think this is a very good setup.
Yeah, he draws another card, which is the Rhino, and sets both Suliek and Crime. Play is over from Vincenzo. Can Mario pull this one off with his maybe Dark Ruler, Mystic Mine? He needs a lot
Dark Ruler, Mystic Mine, Dark Ruler, even Mystic Mine. Let's go.
It's back to Mario, who is now for the first time able to play a
Sind
card.
doch beide aus Italien. Ja, das war der letzte dabei. Sind ja beide aus Italien.
But Vincenzo actually pulling the trigger, playing around Dark Ruler with this Beatrice. And doesn't want to waste time around, and is considering whether to send an additional name. And he does, so activates it right away to send the Abnis, and this will allow him to go for another play, maybe the Mud Dragon, maybe the Kid Kalos to get the Heartbeat. I think would be a really nice play. And I think that is what we are going for right here for Vincenzo. And it is. So well played by Vincenzo. He sets up the heartbeat, which means even in case that Mystic Mine comes down, he has the out for it.
I mean, very well played by him. With this setup, also the Grime and the Salyak, the Stapelia itself, I think there's a lot of things going on. Let's see if Mario finds his own way to come back.
Pot of Prosperity, a great card to start things off.
Das ist eine richtig gute Karte. Das Problem ist, er muss sie auch annullieren. So.
But still, it could be a really good way to force it out right here from Mario. But what an opening from Vincenzo. Even the shuffle plus the field spell is just an additional pop. Really impressive.
Keine Ahnung, also irgendwie... Weiß nicht, ob ich das hätte durchgelassen.
Yeah, super young. I think it's.
Die Deck zuzusehen ist eine Qual. Ich finde jetzt nicht, dass das Deck wirklich viel unsinniges Zeug macht. Macht halt normal, anstatt halt quasi Special hier, Special da, und er hat den Necro Valley auch.
Let's see. He picks up the Necro Valley instead from the top of the deck. We know that there is an heartbeat in the end.
Das Game 1 ist schon mal gelaufen wahrscheinlich.
For Mario to have a chance in this game.
Also gelaufen nicht, aber es ist nicht sehr schwierig hier zu spielen.
And here comes down Necro Valley. Can Vincenzo use one of the shufflers alongside the Rhino? I think this is the correct line. And
Rhino,
go for it. Really liking this play by Vincenzo. Using his resources to the fullest of their capabilities and make a lot of sets. Yeah, considering to shuffle back something, definitely not the stage view, that can stay there the entire match. But yeah, he picks up a few useful cards, a nice ultimate, I think, terraforming, and now he will be able to destroy with the effect of Perle Rhino. Such a huge setup, as mentioned by Vincenzo.
Yeah, the activate map.
We know that Mario has the Dark Lure, but with the Grime being set from Vincenzo,
it's really tough because there is also the Salyak face down, and the evenly matched are only in the side deck from Mario, not being mained this time around. Tough stuff here for Mario. Let's see.
Er will die Wins als One-Off. Oder spielt er die dreimal, aber wenn ja, ist es wieder okay, ne? Aber wenn er wirklich nur einmal spielt, ist er einfach ein ganz schön lucky Bastard.
Vincenzo is thinking if okay, he goes to mill 3, nothing special.
Und er hat nichts gemillt. Legende.
Yep. So here, as mentioned, one of the cards that pretty much guaranteed the top 4, and then the final for Mario was these unexplored wins. And now we see the 3 coming down from Mario. Really a weak one to start things off. But when you get milled, it is one of the plus sides where you can banish your own Flowandries in the graveyard. And we are gonna see actually the Stapelia being used. To which though Mario replies pretty convincingly. Let's see if there is gonna be a response by Vincenzo. Because this could actually be used.
Da muss eine Response sein. Hey, Shadow Dragon 75.
It looks like Vincenzo is allowing it.
Yeah. And, so Mario is gonna resolve right here his quick spell. So now he will gain 500 life points, gets to the Eagle, and then will resolve this 3 by banishing the Robina from the grave. And summoning now is just
was war jetzt der Grund, warum er jetzt die Trap hat? Hat er zu viel Angst vor Mine gehabt oder was?
Right here.
Aber er hat doch schon die Mine in der Hand, oder nicht?
And he does. So now he will be able to activate potentially both the 3 and the Robina. But the Salyak coming down from Vincenzo, we knew about it. He's gonna shut it down this time for real.
Ich habe Runis Sprite mitgenommen, aber ich habe halt Main Event nicht gespielt. Hätte ich das Main Event gespielt, hätte ich Sprite BC gespielt. Weil ich mag das Shizu-Deck nicht.
And yeah, this is what's happening right now. Just to make things easier, Vincenzo gonna go into the Kaleido art, getting rid of the unexplored winds. He doesn't want to risk his opponent throwing some cards. Of course, he went for the prosperity, so he couldn't access that effect this turn. But still a really annoying card to be left on the field. But there is the map. So this means that I think Vincenzo will be forced to use the crime on the map.
Yeah, I think he will be forced to activate it on that spot because otherwise he's going to risk it. But yeah, terraforming here, good one for Mario.
Absolutely. But if he has a monster in hand, and I would be shocked if that wasn't the case, the element crime can't just stop this map. And if that's the case, then I wonder whether Vincenzo would have used it.
Also Flur anzugucken ist auf jeden Fall nicht das Spannendste, das gebe ich euch schon einfach recht.
I think you're in a really good spot. Vincenzo considering his options, and at the very end will activate the crime to negate the map. In the meantime, we have just been informed that Yugioh Meta won his third and fourth place match in the blink of an eye, so he's guaranteed his own copy of another Verse Dragon, and a third place is definitely a huge achievement nonetheless. But now play is back to Vincenzo.
Das ist trotzdem schade. Also Yugioh ist jetzt Dritter geworden. Hat einfach, weil er so sauer war, einfach komplett zerstört. Auch nicht schlecht, ey.
And I think Mario has seen enough. He picks up his cards and is Vincenzo winning game 1.
Vielleicht wird das ja genauso überzeugt wie das Finale, was wir vorletzte Woche gesehen haben oder so. Wo dann auch im Finale war.
A start of this final match, Vincenzo showcasing why he made it this far. If you had any doubt, not only did he kick out the last YCS champion Yugioh Meta in his top 4 match, but is now only one game away
die Zeit hat Yugioh
from
rausgekickt.
YCS champion at such a young age. What a beautiful final we're witnessing. But Mario really couldn't do much about it. That's the old truth. Still, congratulations on how Vincenzo played it out. But I want to mention just a little thing. By what we witnessed, I think it's pretty obvious that if Mario would have activated Dark Ruler right away, the crime would have been flipped.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you think about it, at the end of that turn, Mario still had the Dark Ruler in his hand. And he never used it, and he lost to the crime because of the field spell. I'm not saying that he would have won, because still he gets to just clear the whole board, which is very difficult, but he has some chances in that game 1. So maybe, just maybe, Diego would have played it out a little different, and we could have asked him that afterwards. But now it's time to keep your composure. You're still in this match, and honestly, when Mario goes first, I gotta give just the odds on his side. He has so much stuff. Just mention his side.
Yeah, we have seen him siding him. The RP's Featherstorm, which is completely like shutting down opponent's strategy. Also in the top 4, we have seen him activating him and winning with it.
Yeah.
And also the 3 copies of Solemn Judgment as well. Also the Dimensional Fisher.
Which we are still not yet
Die
seen,
Fischer, let's go.
If there is
Ist ja auch ein One-Off in dem Deck, was ich suchen hat.
thing to mention is how
Ist dies die Finals? Ja, ist die Finals.
Vincenzo expected a lot of mirror matches and prepared really well.
Also bis jetzt bin ich nicht beeindruckt.
We can't say the same thing for Flow1. There is maybe, but there is one key strategy to his success. He does not play additional copies of, spell and trap removal, but he has 3 copies of Zombie Ward alongside 2 copies of Necro Ward Banshee to just search it. So essentially, he has access to Zombie Ward very, very easily. So Mario will have a tough time and might be forced to side in those Cosmic Cyclone even when going first. But our players are ready. Let's find out who the winner of Game 2 will be.
Let's go. Das zweite Game.
And here they are, of course, Mario looking for some of his Flow Under his monsters, while Vincenzo
Handshake inmitten von Games, keiner cringe. Er braucht Shifter.
So Vincenzo has the herald of the orange light in his hand. So he has the option to negate a summon from Mario. Let's see if the opening from Mario is weak.
Oh nein, oh nein, oh nein, oh nein. Bitte hab kein Agido.
There is the herald.
And Mario knows it because Vincenzo...
Mario knows it and wait for your claps. We might see an herald coming down from Vincenzo, but he
hat es echt resolven lassen? Why? Why hast du das resolven lassen?
What do you do here? You just keep it and wait for Mario to normal summon.
But the problem is that you cannot even activate it under shifter, so I'm really confused on why Vincenzo thought that it was not a good play here, and you can see Vincenzo just not happy about that one. I'm really surprised that he didn't activate.
Aber was hat er für eine Hand, dass er quasi dann sagt, spiel ich durch?
Because basically here you just let Mario play alone.
Yeah. And I don't think you get the chance to use it again later on.
That's the thing, exactly.
Verstehe ich nicht. Es kann nur sein, dass er keine Fehmarus zum Discard hat.
Field, search for his flow under his cards. Of course the shifter is a huge problem that...
Ja genau, die haben keine Konami im Top Card. Finde ich auch super weird. Aber ich finde es eigentlich gut. Aber ich finde es trotzdem mal weird.
Yeah, not that it's particularly useful in this matchup, but at least he would have stopped the shifter. But there is no statue, by the way, from Mario. Just a couple of face down, actually free with the Solemn. And play is back to Vincenzo, who picks up yet another tier element monster. I think he might just end his turn without doing much. Let's see. He has the Perle Rhino, I think. Yeah. I don't think Mario really cares about that one. So we might see, for example, an Avnis picked up if he doesn't have already one copy, and just a pass. Because yeah, looking at his hand, he has, as mentioned, the Herald, but he didn't go for it. That's really surprising.
Ja, es kann nur, dass er keinen Target hat für zum Abschmeißen, also macht ja noch keinen Sinn.
And yeah, he does go for the Avnis, which of course Mario is gonna keep attention to, and will try to play around it whenever he can. And I think he might just pass back to him.
Yeah, he could pass, yeah.
Let's see. Vincenzo, considering his options, might just go to the end phase here, and that could mean that we need to be very careful when playing from Mario perspective in the next turn. And yeah, I think that was it. So Vincenzo tries to enter the end phase, but Mario is having none of that. He wants to keep on playing. He has the option to go for a two-can.
Oh, he looks like an enemy villain facing a 70-year-old.
Kind of, yeah. Apex Avian in the deck to just negate any card from the tier element player.
Because here, once again, being in the end phase, he cannot activate the Herald. So, yeah, good for Mario.
I think at the
Ist Herald echt ein Main-Phase-Only-Effekt? Echt?
I'm really confused as to why he didn't go for it at the very last second. Because
so,
the Mudora engrave would have been huge with the Perle Rhino just to pop some stuff. But instead, the shifter loop is coming, and shifter is gonna be used again during the next turn with this play from Mario.
Ja, cool.
Shifter goes to the top, and he's just gonna shifter him again the next turn, which is huge for Vincenzo.
Tja, hätte er noch versucht zu spielen. Wäre vielleicht besser ausgegangen. Das war der Grund, warum das Deck halt jetzt okay ist. Draht Shifter, aktiviert Shifter und kann Shifter so halt recyceln und hat immer noch den auf Hand. Jetzt macht der Herald.
I'm concerned actually, because basically if you didn't activate the Herald before, why would you do it now?
Yeah, it's definitely pointless. I agree with you. And I'm still giving a lot of chances to Mario, but the Avnis is there, so let's see if this Avnis will be able to activate anytime soon. We have to be careful, and of course Mario is playing around that.
Yeah.
And And now we could see the upness. Let's see these mills. Is there a
Gute
response
Frage,
from Mario?
Da ist die Upness. Let's go.
He could have prevented this way earlier, I would say, but now hopefully he doesn't get too punished for it. Does he have maybe a feather storm he could use? It seems like it would be a little wasted. I think he only has Solemn and the quick spell.
Yeah.
Strong auf jeden Fall.
Which then, as I mentioned,
Droplet plus Shifter zu spielen, schon mutig dann. Oder ist es die Quickstep von denen? Rhino und Banshee!
Which could be huge.
Oh mein Gott.
Wow. This is a good meal.
Banshee.
This is huge.
Das ist kritisch. Banshee kann nämlich zum Beispiel das Deck aktivieren und ja.
He can now prevent this from resolving. So let's see if he finds this line. He's gonna read it, check the graveyard, and resolve his normal summon. I think Apex has to be the choice here, potentially. Just shutting down the Necro Banshee. Definitely gonna come down to this one.
Aber er muss halt jetzt den Apex machen, ja.
And he does, so Mario finds the line I was talking about. He goes for the Apex just to prevent the Banshee from being able to shut down his plays entirely. So Vincenzo instead is gonna opt for the Rhino and then chain the Banshee, forcing the negation from the Apex. All really smooth by both Italian players. But now I give the edge once again to Mario. But I think Vincenzo is doing his best to stay in this, and if Mario would have summoned earlier on his Apex, or even just a statue, this could not happen. So a really, really interesting choice, and maybe at the very end, the decision to use this orange light later on might pay out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Had a plan.
Absolutely. It's working. And yeah, he goes now right away into the Kaleido, and he's gonna be able to put back the Empen into the deck potentially. Let's see if this is his final decision. Yep, that's gonna be banished. The two Merly are down. He's gonna then cut his opponent deck and play may resume with the Kaleido being summoned in defense position to just play around the Empen.
Ja, ich war muss morgen arbeiten. 8:30.
Let's see, because if Mario actually, we know that he has, I think, a face down quick spell.
Und Flanner-Gameplay macht mich jetzt unbedingt wacher, muss ich fairerweise sagen.
I think is the line we are gonna see here. Let's see. I think he has a face down Flow Wanderers and the Advent.
Und vielleicht bin ich im Stream ein, dann hat der Clip direkt aus dem Clip.
He does have a face down Advent, which means he can then get to the Flow Wanderers field spell, which is huge, and that is what he does for great execution this time from Mario.
Ja, nicht schlecht auf jeden Fall. Nicht schlecht gespielt.
I almost wish we had a third pair of headphones to have Diego here with us, which I'm pretty sure.
Es ist auf jeden Fall ein cooles Finale eigentlich, weil die einfach spielen können, ne? Ja, dann spielen halt beide so ein bisschen. Ist halt auch nicht bad so. Ich finde halt irgendwie faszinierend, dass auch beide denselben Rekord hatten, ne? Beide halt einen Draw, beide 2 Loses und halt 14 Wins dann. Finde ich auch spannend. Ja, Jog Stapelia, definitiv. Alles andere macht doch keinen Sinn. Wo ich arbeite? Ich arbeite bei einem Optiker.
We are gonna call it before it happens, and it is the Stapelia, so very well played here by Vincenzo, recognizing this situation. And now it's tough all of a sudden from Mario, who really needs to find a way to fight back into this game. But as
hier ist der Pili jetzt auch wieder ganz gut, weil er hat halt die Quick Version raus, das heißt er kann halt nur noch unser normalen Effekt nutzen.
Could very well be a 2-0 victory even through double shifter. Wow.
There's still something going on for Mario, but he needs to find his way.
And here he's gonna go for Tucan, most likely targeting the Dreaming Town. Gonna get negated by the Stabelia and gonna add back
beim Optik arbeite ich ja. Nicht auf welchen. Das werde ich auch, also meine Arke werde ich im Stream auch nicht verraten, wo ich arbeite. Sondern nur was ich arbeite.
But no, he passes back, and it's only Solemn Judgment face down. So this makes a ton of difference, and it's Zombie Ward picked up. He cannot negate it. Wow.
And now Vincenzo enters battle phase.
He doesn't need to do much. He enters the battle phase, just
attacking
over his opponent monsters.
Ein bisschen Damage.
And this seems as if it will be Vincenzo's game. Nonetheless, what
ich sehe jetzt auch keinen Grund, wie Mario zurückkommen kann. Es sei denn, jetzt ist halt irgendwie, keine Ahnung. Achso, man trinkt gerade. Ja. Ein bisschen Coke. Wenn ich schon wollt, macht's gerne. Ja, ich würde jetzt gucken, dass er so lange durchspielt, wie er kann, ne?
Gonna take a look at his extra deck. Vincenzo played really well by putting his monsters not in front of an extra monster zone, because that could play into the anima, which I think he is considering, and that is not an option right now. So well played by Vincenzo once again.
Yeah, we are trying to see if Mario can really find a way. I think he's full of monster now, and
might just set a monster. He goes for the Flowandery's field spell once again. But this actually means that he's gonna be forced to normal sum.
Yeah.
Which is huge. Because then he's forced to go for the amp. No effect. Wow.
Amp, no effect. Crazy.
This is so bad for Mario. Is he finding a way
also mit bestimmte Akte nicht gespielt werden dürfen, wäre mal richtig interessant. Keine Ahnung, ich bin ja ein Mensch, ich mag halt, wenn alles so frei ist. Ich finde halt, das Offizielle zu halten, macht Sinn. Das macht jetzt sogar Sinn. Der ist aber auch kein Effekt. Das ist echt clever.
Interesting stuff here by the Italian player. Actually, huge find here by his opponent with the Relask. But here, Vincenzo could really do much about it, because the effect reads that you can just chain it. Let's see.
Ja, es macht ja Sinn, das auf den Zeus zu machen. Es kommt halt Donner und Zeus.
Yeah, he goes for the Downer Magician and then the Zeus.
And now the Zeus coming down to the field in this final to clear everything away. Of course, gonna keep attention, because then the Kaleido would resolve. And this is still quite a difficult spot. Play is back to Vincenzo, I think, who has the option of using the Stapelia to force out the Zeus. What do you think he should go for here?
This is very difficult, actually, because if he goes for the Stapelia, as you mentioned, he will force Mario to go for the Zeus.
The thing is, as soon as you have another play, you can just use it. But instead, it's gonna be Mario activating it and gonna make his own Kaleido resolve, sending a card. And I still like a lot the chances here for Vincenzo.
Das ist echt ermüdend, echt ungelogen. Also er hat jetzt Zeus gemacht, damit dass ich wieder zurückkommen kann. Verstehe ich nicht.
Clearing the board now, then it's Vincenzo who is back on the play.
Then Kaleido hat Effekt.
Activating the Kaleido to summon it back
und dann Shuffle.
Field. Wow, and sending something back, and I think this is looking as Vincenzo will be able to advance. A really good play here by sending the Saliek will activate it, force out the other activation from the Zeus, but still is enough to close this one for Vincenzo. All it takes is this Rhino Art on the very next turn to win the final of YCS Dortmund. I think Mario knows it. I think Vincenzo knows it. The whole crowd is just ready to crown your new champion. Is there gonna be any response? Any last-minute surprise by Mario? You can see the smile on his face. All Vincenzo needs to do is resolve this one last effect, and he's gonna be a YCS champion. What an ending.
Sicher ein ganz gutes Finale, auch wenn ich gerade so ein bisschen überein bin.
One last thought. Now the Ophinis gets sent to the graveyard. We will soon resolve and fusion summon. Let's see what Vincenzo is going to do.
Surprisingly, he actually gets rid of his own Rhino Heart, just doesn't want to lose to anything too spicy. I think they both already know this one is over, but just to make sure he doesn't mess this one up, he's gonna do his best, playing it a little too much, I would say. I would just go for the safe line at this point, and yeah, he's gonna melee risking it maybe even a little bit.
Wenn du jetzt nichts triffst, ne?
But yeah, it's so many good cards.
Einfach er hat einfach alles getroffen, ist alles drin. Die hat viel zu viel Gas. Ja. Das stimmt wohl.
And yeah, as we were saying, he's gonna resolve the rest of his names, and it's just a matter of second at this point. Rukalos comes down, playing around a potential sneaky Nibiru from his opponent, which now will enter the battle phase soon enough. And as you can see, Mario shifts the handshake.
War ein gutes Finale auf jeden Fall. Crazy. War ein krasses Finale. Ne, ich glaube, es wird tatsächlich bis Februar dieses Mal noch spielen. Ja. Aber es war ein gutes Finale. Also, es war jetzt nicht wie vor 3-4 Wochen oder so, wo der Spiel einfach nichts gemacht hat, sondern das war einfach gut. Ja. Aber würde ich sagen, das war's auch schon für mich für heute. Wir haben jetzt ein wunderbares Ende von Day 2 gesehen, von der YCS in Dortmund. Wenn mal wieder ein Event ist, ich werde mal gucken, ob ich mal schaffe, vielleicht einen Vlog dazu machen, wenn ich da zum Event gehe. Ich habe gehört, es ist bald eine Regio in Bielefeld, habe ich gehört. Oder ein paar andere Dinge. Aber ich würde sagen, ich würde alles mal raus. Bis zum nächsten Mal rein. Ciao, ciao, Leute.